be live in about a minute or two, so give me a minute. I'm gonna need at least a minute or two to get my last stream up. Yeah, we're gonna be live on YouTube, TikTok, um, Instagram, and Substack. So give me a minute. Gonna be talking about starting out right off the bat the State of the Union. That's what we're going to be talking about. It's taking place tomorrow. Hi from the Boston area. Who says that? A Gooden? I think what I'm reading there, a Gooden. Good evening to you, Boston. You guys are getting hit with a lot of snow. Is that correct? From what I can tell, the New England area is getting hit with snow that's being measured in feet as opposed to inches. So, not somewhere that sounds like it's a good place to be right now. I've been to Boston. I'm from Chicago, so I know what dealing with a ton of snow is like. But fortunately, that's not happening where I'm at now. Handsome conservative. Good evening to you. Appreciate the support. Starting the program off. You guys give me a minute. I'm getting my last stream up, and we should be going momentarily. Several things I want to talk to you folks about, and I want to hear from you folks in regards to your opinion. But obviously, the State of the Union is something we certainly want to discuss because, we want to know, of course, what is the State of the Union. Now, obviously, President Trump will give his take on it, but I do want to hear from you folks. I want to hear from you folks in regards to your opinion of the current state of our union. Good, bad, indifferent, you name it. So we're going to talk about that. So, having said that, we are now live. What up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. Depending on who you ask. I get a lot of folks all the time commenting on the visuals. So, hopefully you guys have had a decent work day. Mine has come to a conclusion. And let me actually change the video of this particular camera because I can't see shit. Okay, there we go. So we're going to be talking about the State of the Union. The address is tomorrow. So I kind of want to hear from you guys. What are you expecting President Trump to say during the SOTU, the State of the Union address? And I want to get your opinion on what do you believe is our current state of the union. What state is this country currently in? What state is the union currently in? When they say the union, you're talking all 50 states. They say united we stand, divided we fall. A house divided cannot stand. You've heard these slogans. So the state of the union would be like, let's say, for instance, a husband and a wife want to discuss the state of their union. How good is our marriage right now? What is the current state of our marriage? Are we growing as a couple? Are we coming apart? Are we coming apart at the seams? That is the state of the union. So we're going to certainly talk about that, and I want to get your opinion on it. Also, did you know? I believe it was yesterday or maybe within the last couple of days or so, there was a major player in the cartel that was taken out by the authorities in Mexico. And it has led to nothing short of a revolt. So currently, Mexico is somewhat in crisis, depending on the area you're in. And there is an ample amount of Americans in Mexico. There are plenty of Americans in Mexico. They were in Mexico before Trump became president, but now with this whole deportation being tough on illegal immigrants and self-deportation stuff, there's a lot more Americans in Mexico now, likely under Trump, than there were before Trump became president, because a lot of Americans that were married to Mexicans, had children by Mexicans, that had Mexicans in their family. When ICE deported them, some of these folks went with their family members. So there are more Americans down there now than there were before Trump became president. Not to mention, there's a hell of a lot of folks that are starting to view America as not the most comfortable place to stay. You often hear the right saying, if you don't like America, I'll help you pack, just leave. A lot of them are taking your advice and you don't need to help them pack. So we are losing people. We are losing people. And I just read a study the other day that said America is seeing a negative population growth, and they're blaming a good bit of that on Trump's immigration deportation policies. They're blaming a good bit of that on that, suggesting that the deportations and things of that nature is making the birth rate in America drop. Take it with a grain of salt. We'll talk about it. Also, I want to discuss with you the State of the Union is what I really want to talk to you folks about. I want to get your opinion on that, but you guys know how the program is ran. We always have other issues to discuss, and today is no exception. I want to ask you, I'm going to play a clip for you. This is 20 seconds long, but I want to know, do you find stuff like this, I don't know, disrespectful?
U.S. women's hockey team said it declined President Donald Trump's invitation to attend his State of the Union address. This comes a day after the president jokingly said he had to also invite the women after inviting the men after their win on Sunday.
Well, when the president of the United States, your team has done so well, you've won a championship, and you get an invite to this. In this case, they're inviting them to attend the State of the Union address, but sometimes you're invited to come to the Oval Office. Is it disrespectful to turn down our nation's commander in chief? This isn't the first time this happened, by the way. Other teams have turned down other presidents in the past, but I want to get your opinion on how do you feel about turning down the president? How does that look? Is that disrespectful for a team to turn down a presidential invite? And what would make them do that? What would make them turn down a presidential invite? I believe Trump has been turned down before. I think the Golden State Warriors, the NBA team during his first term, won a championship and it turned him down. And it became an argument from Trump saying, well, I didn't invite you anyway or something like that. I don't know if the Seattle Seahawks are Super Bowl victors this year. I don't believe they have been invited to the White House or met with President Trump either. But it has happened before. It has happened before. I believe Barack Obama had a team, if I'm correct, some of the players on the team refused to attend. So Barack Obama's watched as well. And if I'm correct, Fox News was kind of celebrating the resistance. So it's happened before. I think all of you guys are aware that the Supreme Court ruled against President Trump in regards to his tariffs. Now, he's finding backdoor ways to do this again. But for the most part, they did rule that the current way he imposed tariffs is illegal. The exporters, the corporations, and you pay. Thank you for the TikTok caps, Kinda Mike. Appreciate that. Thank you for the support. Kinda Mike, showing the love. I appreciate that. So, like it at all. Kinda Mike, thank you. He didn't like it at all, and he was very critical of the Supreme Court, even saying that it is an embarrassment to their families. He was disappointed. He gave a lot of adjectives to decide how he felt. But once again, I want you to hear this because President Trump has a tendency to make statements that sometimes have a historical precedent of him on the other side.
The radical left harasses our judges and harasses our justices. They scream at them, they call them names, they say they're incompetent, they're horrible, they're this, they're that, they should be impeached. They're constantly saying they should be impeached, but they're screaming. And you know what? It has an effect on some people, but so far, they've been very strong. It's really horrible. I believe it's illegal what they do. And I'm trying to give you things that you've never heard before, and this is true. I believe they are playing the ref. They're constantly criticizing some of our greatest justices and a lot of great judges. The radical.
Now, how has that aged? Now, I believe this came out during the time when Kavanaugh or something like that was getting appointed. I mean, look, there have been liberals that criticize judges. There have been liberals criticizing judges. But is he, you ever heard of the phrase pot? The pot calling the kettle a certain color, the pot calling the kettle African American, for my folks who don't like to hear the word black. The pot calling the kettle African American. I mean, what the hell is this? Now, he just indicated that doing this, criticizing judges, should be illegal. Kind of Mike. Thank you. He just indicated that criticizing judges should be illegal. And obviously, since this has went out, President Trump has criticized a host of judges. The judges that were involved in his various trials, like the Letitia James trial, and he's criticizing the judges there. He's been criticizing the judges that ruled against him in the 2020 election claims. Really, just about every judge that's ruled against Trump, he said something negative about the judge. In some cases, even criticizing the families of the courts. So what the hell is this? The radical left does it, huh? He feels it's illegal when the left does it. I don't know. Pot calling the kettle African. Why? Listen, when Biden had gaffes, when Biden that he makes a statement over here, and then when he does it, it's suddenly okay. I played you a clip just yesterday.
More militaristic than
That's from 2011. That's him suggesting that Barack Obama is weak and incapable of negotiating. So in order to gain political advantage, he says to get reelected, he's going to start a war with Iran. Well, here we go now. President Trump is about to start a war with Iran. He makes a lot of statements like this that sounded really good to the right when he was saying it against the left, but then suddenly he's involved in it. Wasn't he also the one that was known for saying, if you plead the fifth, it means you work for the mob, you got something to hide? Didn't he also say that in regards to Hillary Clinton? Then all of a sudden during his trial, he pled the fifth dozens of times. Only thing he actually answered was his actual name. It's amazing how he can criticize situations and then literally do the exact same thing he was critical of. And I'm just going to ask the simple question once again is, how is this okay? If it was wrong to do it, when he was criticizing others for doing it, why does it suddenly become okay when he does it? Somebody got to help me make sense of that, because I'm totally lost as to how that makes sense whatsoever. Last but not least, before we start taking callers and going to the box, it's going to be kind of an open forum today, but I do want to speak with you folks. This one here, I'm somewhat concerned with it because it does involve a judge, and kind of like the Epstein stuff, I believe there may be things that are being hidden behind the scenes.
Trump's
My computer
classified report on President Trump's handling of classified documents won't be made public. President Trump pleaded not guilty to 37 criminal counts after prosecutors said he repeatedly refused to turn over classified documents taken to Mar-a-Lago after he left office. Judge Aileen Cannon
My computer's fucking
dismissed
up.
the case after deciding Smith's appointment was unlawful. Now she's barring the release of the report, saying, quote, it would cause irreparable damage to former defendants and, quote, contravene basic notions of fairness and justice. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katursky is here for more on that.
Now that judge, President Trump has convinced them that releasing Jack Smith's findings would cause irreparable damage to the defendants. This sounds a lot like the Epstein case, where Marjorie Taylor Greene said, if the information comes out, a lot of my friends will get hurt. Now, he appointed this judge. Keep in mind, when Trump says all these liberal judges are trying to rule against them, all these activist judges, this judge here, U.S. District Court for Southern District of Florida, Aileen Cannon, he appointed her personally. This is a Trump appointee. Notice you don't hear any criticism of her. Now, if this same judge had been appointed by Biden or some liberal, he'd probably be attacking her if she ruled against him. But this judge was appointed by him personally. So I do want to ask you folks, how is this stuff okay where he literally says it should be illegal for radical leftists to criticize judges, yet he does it quite frequently. Quite frequently. And of course, we're going to talk about the state of our union. What I want to find out from you folks in regards to the state of the union is, what is the current state of the country in your opinion? And what do you expect President Trump to state tomorrow in prime time? Hopefully you'll be watching the address. Real quick, by way of yes or no in the comments. Yes or no? Will you be watching the State of the Union address live? By way of yes or no, I know a lot of folks have gotten uninvolved or uninterested in politics right off the bat. All these no's. How many of you folks will be watching the State of the Union address live? Somebody says, two people says, hell no. Come on, folks. This is your nation. Then Cal says, hell no. I think Garner guy says, hell no. Won't watch him says 867-5309. Love the 80s song. Wow. You guys are not watching it, huh? I gotta tune in. How else can I come on here and talk to you fine, distinguished individuals if I don't know what the hell's going on? And of course, we are MAGA friendly, so I know MAGA's going to watch the address, right? So I gotta watch it, but I see a hell of a lot of you are not watching it. Don't watch it, says Paul Palmer. It'll give him low ratings. No, I can't. Look, that sounds like something Trump would suggest. He would tell MAGA to not watch the State of the Union address if it was Biden or Obama, to fuck with the ratings, so then he could go on a Trump rally and say, well, look at the low ratings of shit. That's kind of petty, is it not? That's kind of petty. We try to avoid doing that. Talk about the State of the Union. When you're talking about doing that, that shows the state of our union. The state of our union is really divided. I may have to put the spectacles on with the eyesight not as good as it used to be. How many lies at the State of the Union? What is that? Wow, he got an over-under mermaid muncher, that name. This is how many lies at the State of the Union. The over-under is set at 50. Microphone in front of Trump for probably, an hour to 2 hours? I'm going to go over that for sure. 2 hours? I'm going to go over that. Don't watch. Let me see. Let me go straight to the box. State of the Union. I want to hear from you folks. 51.5 is low. It's kind of low like Flo Rida would say. Let me make it happen with James Harper. Good evening, James.
What's going on, Tim?
Not much at all. You going to watch the State of the Union tomorrow?
He gonna lie, so what's the point?
Well, listen, some of the stuff he says has to be true, right? He can't lie continuously for 2 hours.
In the words of Straight Talk, it's not a lie. It's because he's not doing it on purpose.
Well,
the fact that the trade deals, definitely not the perception. How is the economy the best we ever had when everything is up? Prices up, inflation's up.
That's an interesting question to ask. Well, let me ask it to you this way. Is it at least better than when Biden was in office?
No.
You don't think the economy is better right now than when Biden? I mean, gas prices and things like that. You don't see any improvement at all? Price of groceries, etc.?
No, because gas prices have been fluctuating. It's been doing this seesaw effect back and forth.
Yeah, but it's been under $3 most places, with the exception of, let's say, California or Hawaii or New England area, right?
And the last year and a half of Biden has been under $3 for the most part. It hadn't been like 260, 270, but it's been under $3.
So you haven't seen any improvement economically for this country at all under Trump?
No, in fact, I guarantee you, we've earned less, especially with all these people that have lost their jobs because of him and Doge. Let's see, Straight Talks. What are you talking about? Nobody's lying.
Well, listen, you guys live in but James, hold on. In regards to Straight Talk, you guys live in different parts of the country. It might be better in his part of the country.
No, because every time he comes up and tries to say that shit, people from Miami say, no, that's not the case.
Is Straight Talking? I think you got MAGA reacts. I don't. Is Straight Talking in Miami area?
Mag Reacts, yeah.
Yeah, MAGA reacts.
MAGA reacts.
Yeah, okay. He does say that is. But what about inflation? Because MAGA reacts mentioned that as well. That they're saying inflation is down.
And they also keep trying to say that under Biden, inflation was at 9%, but that was like way like in the beginning of his term when we were still dealing with COVID. Once COVID came down, like when he was leaving office, inflation was around like 2.5.
Yeah, I don't remember inflation being ridiculously high like that at night. I mean, like you said, if it's in the beginning, but for me personally, my view is kind of close to yours. I look, between Trump and Biden, I haven't seen a lot of economic movement in terms of grocery prices and stuff like that. Gas prices, I think, are manageable. I like the gas prices under Trump. I don't recall them being stifling under Biden, but I like the gas prices under Trump. Outside of the gas prices, the rest of that shit is nothing to brag about.
Exactly. And then the unemployment rate. The unemployment rate's higher now than it was under Biden.
Yeah, but what about the notion that the unemployment rate has gotten higher under Trump because he had to fire so many federal workers to curb waste, fraud, and abuse, DEI hires, and all of that stuff?
We all know that was bullshit. He curbed all those people got fired because they were part of oversight, and those oversights were looking into Elon Musk's companies.
You're saying that literally thousands of folks lost their job just to prevent them from looking into Elon Musk?
Yes, look at where they lost all the jobs. The EPA, USAID, what was it? And all those other oversight departments like the SEC. Like remember, a lot of those departments, they pretty much lost their teeth to actually enforce the oversight that they were looking for.
All of them were related to this? I mean, he fired people at the Board of Education. I mean, you mentioned the EPA, the IRS lost people. All of these folks were going after Elon.
It was a lot of folks going after Elon. He, like every one of his companies, Tesla, SpaceX, and what was that? The one he was trying to make that another like PayPal type company. All of those were under investigation.
I don't know. That would be somewhat illegal. Almost sounds like.
MAGA reacts the reason why they were going after him because he had dirty business practices.
And was he not one of the individuals that said, if things don't go right, we're gonna be in jail or something? I'm gonna get locked up or something. Didn't he say something like that?
Yeah, he was one of them.
Him and Bannon painted a picture that if things didn't go right at the election, that they may end up in jail. That was Bannon. I thought Elon said something similar. I know Steve Bannon said it, but and I see the comments. Eric B for president says, yes, he did. Absolutely. He made that statement. Yeah, I thought both of them had said something like that. But listen, what about the notion that they saved us, a trillion, whatever the hell they said, billions of dollars in waste, fraud, and abuse?
They didn't even do that. In fact, one of the things he did was he stole a contract from another company.
With Elon?
Yes. Remember, like, while he was doing Doge, at one point they were like, oh, he can appoint contracts to whoever he wants. He gave a contract to one of his own people, like one of his own companies. Yeah. But they didn't touch where all the fraud, waste, and abuse was in the defense budget. That's where all the fraud, waste, and abuse was, and they didn't touch that. No, they went at the oversight and social programs.
Yeah, well, the right has never been a fan of it. Never seen a social program they prefer. So let me ask you yourself personally, how do you view America currently? What do you see as our state? I mean, look, the border is secure, right? Do you give him credit for securing the border? He says it's the most secure in history.
No, because he didn't actually improve anything on the border. All he did was he attacked the people with temporary protective status and hired the Proud Boys and people like that as a part of ICE so they can go after everybody.
You don't think the border is any more secure under Trump than it was under Biden? Is that what you're telling me?
No, because it was like the way they were making it sound like is nowhere near where it was.
There's no way in hell I can believe that. Under Trump, I would assume the border is more secure because people are afraid to cross it. There's no way I could imagine that the border is no more. I would think the border under Trump is probably more secure than it's been under any president in our lifetime. I mean, when you see how people that cross the border are being treated and incarcerated and stuff like that, I can't imagine that it's the same condition as it was under Biden.
No, in fact, if anything, saying that the border security, like, it adversely affect like tourism and things like that.
What
Because
about? I'm talking about in terms of. Go ahead.
Trump. What I'm trying to say is Trump has made it undesirable to be here.
Okay, but what about? I'm talking even in terms of, let's say somebody wanted to sneak into America, whether it's crossing the Rio Grande, whether it's trying to jump over the wall, whether you're trying to tunnel your way in or swim your way in. You're telling me it's just as easy to do that now as it was under Biden.
Hold on, Larry. Unless you actually got proof that what you're saying, shut the fuck up.
So it's just as easy to enter America illegally under Trump as it was under Biden.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Really, all of he's built the wall. He's deployed the military down to the southern.
No, hold on, Tim. He didn't build the wall. All he did was repair the wall.
Okay, then that helps. If I repair your door that was wide open, wouldn't that make your house more secure?
It didn't. That's the thing. As much as the wall that they said they built, it didn't increase security.
All of the technology, drones. I mean, he blew up the budget for border security. You don't think there's a lot more technology down on the border? You don't think it's any more secure at all?
No. In fact, remember, that's one of the reasons why Steve Bannon was so scared of them Democrats coming to power, because of what he was doing with that shit. Remember, he was embezzling from that fund, talking about I want y'all to help me donate bricks for the wall.
I mean, I understand all of that, but when you think of the fact that Trump increased the budget for ICE and border security and all these folks from $8 billion to $28 billion, just the manpower on the southern border alone would have had to increase significantly. I can't imagine it would be just as easy to enter.
Hold on, wait, Tim. Another thing that you just brought up when you said the drones and everything.
Yeah.
Guess who just became a CEO of a drone company? Like
his kid.
Exactly. So who got that contract?
Well, look, I'm not saying the guy I'm not saying the guy ain't possibly enriching his family. I mean, you got Barron, his youngest kid is worth millions all of a sudden. Yeah, they making a ton of money off of the White House. I mean, Trump just trademarked his name.
Remember, it was Biden crime family, and they're using the presidency to make money, but what are they doing now?
Yeah. Well, that's what I said when I was doing the monologue, when I asked, how is this stuff acceptable? Because Trump has criticized others, and then when he was put in the same position, he did the same thing. I'm sure that Biden crime family is something that came out of Trump's mouth doing rallies about him making money with Burisma and stuff while he was in office. Now that Trump is in office, I don't think even MAGA would dislagree that he is enriching himself.
Look what Larry said. He said everybody does it, but remember, y'all wanted him impeached, and y'all wanted his sons in jail and his whole family in jail. But now all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah, I don't get that, and I said the same thing about whether it's the Epstein files or anything. When anytime Trump does something that is controversial or doesn't look right, we go back and compare him to another president. He was supposed to be the guy that was going to drain the swamp. All the other presidents were losers. He was going to be better. But the minute he fucks up, you start comparing them to all the losers. That don't make any sense. There's nothing about Trump you should be comparing to Biden if Biden did such a bad job. You should never be comparing him to Biden and saying, well, Biden did it too. You thought Biden was terrible. So why would Trump get in there and do the same things a terrible guy did?
They swore up and down Biden deserves to be locked up for the rest of his life. But all of a sudden that Trump is doing it, and he's doing it at a more blatant scale. All of a sudden, no, it's okay. Everybody does it, so it's not that bad.
Yeah. Well, listen, I see in the comments, Sassy says the greatest con man to ever do it. Do you see Trump as a con man, though?
He's always been a con man. every one of his investments, what happens? He puts up a junk bond. He tells everybody, invest all they can. You're going to be making money hand over fist. And then either the project doesn't finish, or it gets it defaults on the loans, or it gets shut down because they done found misconduct.
I don't know. Listen, he may have not been numero uno in terms of businessmen, but a con man, that's pretty strong. I mean, what is the con? How is he conning us?
He was numero uno and being sued by contractors for not paying them.
Yeah.
In fact, his last campaign run, events were sitting there posting that he did not pay for those events. It probably still hasn't paid for those events.
Well, I mean, look, he's been savvy enough to find loopholes in the system and use them for his advantage. Does that make him a con man? I guess we could have that conversation, but he's been the king, even with the tariffs right now. He's using loopholes. He's been really good at exploiting loopholes in our system.
And those loopholes get found out and shut off. The problem is our Supreme Court just works slowly, and they deliberately work slowly because half the time they don't want to rule against Trump.
Well, I mean, then if they don't want to rule against him, can we say it together? Trump 2028? Perhaps he may be our president.
Hell no.
Well, I mean, would it really be that bad if he did another term?
They got people saying that the damage he's done now is going to take at least a decade to fix. If he gets by and somehow they don't have the majority to either stop him or get rid of him in the midterms, that means that damage is going to go further beyond.
Bro, I mean, look, what if the guy stops Iran from obtaining the nuclear weapon, takes out the regime in Iran, takes out the oppressive regime in Cuba?
We already had a plan for that, and he tore it up because he didn't like the guy that put the plan in place.
Well, okay, but let's say he finds another guy and he is able to take out oppressive regimes from Venezuela to Iran to Cuba. Would he not deserve credit for that?
Larry wants facts on what damage he's done. We've gotten weaker with all our allies. Our beef industry is down. Our soybean industry is down. A lot of people that we do trades with, they don't want to do trades with us now. They want to do trades with China. That's just some of the stuff that he's done. You want more facts?
Yeah, but what about, you say our relationship with our allies is down. Now, MAGA views our allies as kind of just riding our coattails anyway. I mean, America is the world superpower. How do you respond to folks who might say we don't really need them anyway? You heard Trump say we don't really need Canada. They need us.
That would be a bunch of desk jockeys who ain't never been out to like real combat to know that like every time we go somewhere, we always have our allies with us, especially Britain and France.
They ain't gonna be with us in Iran.
Exactly. That's the reason why, like, everybody keeps saying do not do this because one, we already surround that country with bases. Why would we sit there and do all invade them except for off of the bad intel that we get from Israel?
Well, how do you know the intel? Yeah. It took me a minute to think about Israel. Listen, Israel has an agenda, and they need us to help them fulfill it. So, Israel's on their own thing. Badass. Thank you for the galaxy, badass boss. Appreciate it. Israel has an agenda.
Hey, gangster, hey, my baby. But yeah, so basically, this is when we went to Iraq. Remember that whole they have weapons of mass destruction. That
came from Israel. That came from. I don't know if it's Israel there, James. So I think it's Netanyahu. All of that came from Netanyahu. I think Israel, even though Netanyahu is he's at the helm, but I don't know because even a lot of Israelis are not big fans of Netanyahu. It's Netanyahu that wants to do this stuff.
Yeah, you're right. It is Netanyahu. That's why he hasn't been trying to give up power. And he's definitely afraid of the second he's not in charge no more. As soon as he's not in charge no more, they're going to come after him.
Yeah, I hear his own countrymen are looking at him criminally as well. But, I mean, what do you think happens at the end of all of this? Now, obviously in America, there are people that want Trump's head to roll too. I don't know if that'll ever happen. I don't know if a president can give himself a blanket pardon or whatever the case may be. I assume in Trump's case, he is going to attempt to do so. But
of course he's going to attempt to do so. But like you were saying, like for his head to roll, part of the reason why his head didn't roll was because of Eileen Cannon, like you mentioned before. She constantly was ruling in his favor, but instead of actually like making actual rulings, she was making verbal rulings so they couldn't be appealed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jack Smith's report, that she is silenced, she's permanently banned or whatever the case may be. I suppose it could leak. I mean, it's not like Jack Smith don't have that information somewhere. I mean,
they're going to appeal that decision.
Yeah.
They're going to appeal that decision. And once that information comes out, it's going to make Trump look even worse because we already know what he was trying to do. He was trying to go the Nixon route where Nixon was able to negotiate to get those records back by him getting paid. Trump's trying to do the same thing, but it's not going to work.
Wait. What are you saying? What are you saying Trump was trying to do with these classified documents?
He wanted to have the government negotiate to sell it back to him.
Wait, he took the classified documents, and you're suggesting that he was trying to use them as currency to force the government to buy them back from him?
Yes. Remember, Nixon got away with that, so he's remember, all the grifts that other people are doing, Trump tried to do it too. This whole grift where he's sitting there trying to use the government to fund his companies and stuff like that, he got that from Cheney with KBR and Halliburton.
That's got to be 100% illegal. I got to move it on, but I really want to know what's in there. If that kind of shit comes out, and I see in the comments, King Finn says, not a suggestion, he did that shit. I really want to see it. Eventually we will get to the bottom of it, whether or not the courts allow it or not. It'll leak out or something of that nature. But James, I do got to move it on. Thanks for coming through as always. Appreciate it.
No problem, sir.
Thanks. And definitely wanted to show some appreciation to Bad Ass Balls. Thank you for the series of TikTok caps. Appreciate the support. Badass Boss. Looking in the comments, show me proof you talk a big game. Show the proof. What do you say? The proof of what, JP? Groceries are free. In the comments, Drunk Uncle. It's an interesting name, and his comment lives up to that name. His comment says, groceries are free now. Thanks, Trump. You really are lit on the sauce to say something like that, living up to your actual name. Maybe sell out his country treasonous. Yeah, if he's selling classified documents, that would be horrible. I guess what we need to concern ourselves with, first of all, can you give yourself a pardon? And then, of course, treason. I mean, there should be things that a president can do that he should not be able to pardon himself from. Treason would be a perfect example of that. If he literally took classified documents and were trying to put them in the wrong hands or trying to use them for nefarious purposes or whatever the case may be, that ain't in conjunction with the duties of your office. I believe that's what the Supreme Court gave him immunity. Okay, you got immunity to do whatever you want to do in conjunction with the office. Taking documents home is not in conjunction with the office. Certainly after you're no longer president anymore, shouldn't have them. So once again, though, you already know what the deflection is. Well, what about Biden or Mike Pence took documents home? I don't know why Trump gets compared to all these folks so often, but we'll continue the show and talk about it. And in the comments, Bob Barker says, this is why black folks are always looking for handouts. I don't quite get what you're saying there, but let me go back to the box. See how they're all over the same chat and then say, get off the chat once they are cornered. Don't know what you're talking about there, Dennis. You can clear it up for me, but let me go back to the boss, the badass boss, that is. Good evening. I had to call you Bruce Springsteen.
That's right, you ratty raccoon. I am a badass boss. Shit. You be kissing my ass at the end.
Why can't we talk without me having to kiss ass?
Because you stay fluffing.
How am I fluffing?
You stay fluffing. Okay, let me break this shit down to you in a special ed manner, okay? The border is not secure because the numbers are very low compared to Biden. Biden had more encounters at the border than he did. Can you comprehend? technically, the border was better off under Biden. Dum-dum.
What is this, Medea's family reunion? Look, let me say it this way. There is no way.
No.
What?
See, this is why he likes the uneducated. You're a bag of dum-dums, okay? Let me break this shit down to you. The numbers do not lie, okay? Biden had more deportations, more encounters, okay, than he does, okay? That means they was getting them at the border before they brought their asses in here. Now the encounters are way low. That means they're walking the little fat asses over here without being caught.
Okay.
That's what that means, uneducated Uncle Ruckus.
Why gotta be an uncle? I don't look. The Uncle Ruckus, that's a low blow. I see in the comments. Uncle Junior, by the way, says, I love this woman. She is why I'm here. Junior, chill. Okay.
It's the damn truth, Jim.
No, it's
Jim,
not.
Come on.
Bullshit.
Quit making the white man's uncooked protein. It's not making you look good.
This ain't got a damn thing to do with stroking the white man's ego or what.
I didn't say stroke. I said drink.
Whatever
I didn't say you had his cock in his mouth quite yet.
What I want you to do, speaking of the white man that is known for this hat, give him credit for securing the damn border because it is more secure than it was.
It's not.
It is.
It's the number. Okay. You special ed, uncooked protein looking fat fuck. Let me tell you this, okay? I can't with you. I have to go and roll a blunt to
Oh my
you
God.
because I can't handle this shit right now, okay? The border is wide open like Melania's legs. The walk is through it. You feel what I'm saying? The walk is through it, wide open. You know what I mean?
That's disrespect. That is you disrespecting the first lady, damn it. That's disrespectful.
I don't give a damn. I don't fuck with uncooked protein. I don't give a damn. It's wide the hell open so anybody can come on in. It's all gapped up, can't feel the walls no more. Walk right in there.
Hold on.
Go look at the numbers. There's a lot of them coming in, crossing through wide open legs. Wide up, no walls.
You're not gonna convince anybody that the damn border is not more secure under Trump than it was under.
Okay.
Trump has done more for border security than any president we've ever had. There's no way I'm going to believe otherwise.
Oh my God! Now you're just sucking on it like bad. I gag it. Let me tell you something, okay? The numbers don't lie. His encounters are low at the border. What does that tell you, nunnut? That they're walking in.
You're not walking.
Biden's numbers were high. Okay? He has more encounters than your fucking white snowflake of a president that's a pedo has right now.
Okay, wait a minute. Before you start,
don't lie.
no.
Facts don't lie.
Okay, real quick, if you guys are watching on YouTube, I need you to smash that like button. It helps out the algorithm, brings in more MAGA for people like this. But when you start talking about people like you.
No, let me tell you something, because you got my damn nerve. I'm coming for your ugly, fucking fat, toolie looking
God
ass.
damn.
Let me tell you something. I'm so sick of your ratty raccoon, snow roaching, loving. I love Melania Trump, eat her ass out every time for say. I'm so sick of you. When you give that mofo every damn opportunity, he's doing right. When the border is wide the fuck open like hell hurts his fucking woman's legs. Okay? It's not. The numbers don't lie. We like facts. You are delusional. Okay? That's why he said he loves the uneducated. And why are the smart people mad? Because the smart ones like myself, that's smoking, understand what numbers are. Unlike you like the uncooked protein so much that you're gagging on it. See, when I gag, I gag on black chocolate cock. You feel me? And I love doing that. I could say that. But unfortunately, you are in denial and you like the uncooked.
What?
And you're like, yes, master. Yes, master. You feel what I'm saying? I'm on the right side of sucking. You on the whole fucked up side sucking.
Why I gotta be? Why? Okay, we're talking about the border. Why the hell I gotta be sucking to begin
Because
with?
you are Uncle Ruckus, like, yes, master, and gagging. Balls deep with his pruny looking ass. Balls deep. At least when I suck, I say I'm sucking for the black man. Honey, I'm on the right side of history.
I don't
Hello?
look. I want to give Trump credit for border security. I don't want to suck
No,
anything.
I'm not giving that motherfucker credit for nothing. The only thing credit I want to get him for, what I'm going to get when he's dead, okay? Okay? I'm going to pop. I'm going to roll me a big blunt then. And I'm going to have me some, I got to be nice.
I can't believe you got that far. I can't believe you got that.
I'm going to roll me 2, 3, 4 blunts and get me some champagne when
I
that
can't
time
believe
comes.
I can't believe you got that far. Let me just tell you
It's the
something.
truth, Tim. It's
No.
the truth. The numbers don't lie. You have to do the numbers, Tim. The numbers do not lie.
I'm
His
not-
own people are saying the encounters are low. If that means that means the border is not secure. Pookie.
No,
Ray.
the encounters are low under Trump because people know damn well not to fuck with the border because he got it so secure.
Tim, come on, my God. I'm so done with ignorance. I swear to God. That's why he's in office.
Why won't you get this man? Can you give this man credit for at least one thing? This is something he did. Why can't you get a man credit?
Because he didn't do nothing. It's still wide open like his lady's legs coming right on in. You can't feel the walls no more. The numbers are down. The encounters are down.
Would you stop that? Would you stop the? Okay.
No, because I don't F snow roaches, especially when they look like fucking torn up roast beef. I can never look at roast beef again. After that shit, I seen her coochie. I can never do it again.
I actually had some roast. I had some roast beef this weekend.
Lesbian, okay?
I had some
I'm a
roast beef.
straight
I
chocolate
had some roast beef this weekend. It was
chocolate
really
coochie
good.
all day.
It was really good. I had roast beef.
I bet. Yeah.
But why are you so disrespectful to the office?
What office? We have a felon in office. We have a rapist in office. We have a guy that's stealing from us. We have a guy that's giving himself money from us. Yeah. What kind of respect do I need to give him?
Well, first of all,
When he's gone, I'm pissed on him.
first of all, he is entitled to his day in court. He hasn't been convicted of most of the stuff you're talking about.
Why not, Tim? Tell me. Why not, Tim?
Because apparently they don't have enough to get him. He hasn't been
They have
convicted.
enough. Why do you think his own judge just said he can't release the files? Tim. But yeah, the Dow is what, over 5,000? 50,000?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm under the impression, according to President Trump, that the economy is the best it's ever been. I mean,
Tell that when my grocery bill's over $1,000.
are you really?
My grocery bill is over $1,000. I'd rather pay $20 for gas than have groceries, have our so-called prescriptions are going through the roof. Everything is going through the roof, Tim. I know that cock tastes really good.
Well,
I like chocolate cock better.
But you stop talking
Okay.
about. Okay, I'm assuming you're talking about
No.
You're talking about the rooster. You like chicken, right? You're talking about the rooster. You're talking about cocks. You're talking about
I
the
like
rooster.
chocolate
Okay.
chicken. Yes, I do.
In the
Love it.
comments-
Yes, I do.
Well,
And chocolate coochie, too.
Speaking of birds, in the comment, Colonel Quell says 3 words: she ain't black. Sound like Joe Biden. You ain't
I'm
black.
More blacker than you, Tim. I'm more blacker than you, Tim. I brought up from the hood. I know where my ancestors came from. I know my damn history. I don't allow a white man to call me the N-word. I don't let another person call me colored. I do not allow that. I'll punch you right there in their throat or snap their neck.
What are you talking
I'm
about?
very much black. Just because I'm light skinned, honey, and stuff, don't ever get it shit twisted. My mom and my daddy's darker than you.
Okay. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. But I just think that when it comes,
Don't call me don't ever disrespect me and say I'm white. You got me fucked up.
I'm telling you what's in. I'm telling you what's in
it.
it. We don't censor. I'm telling you what's in the comments. They're saying you're not black. I mean, as Joe Biden might say, vote for me because you ain't black.
Yep, and I wasn't racist. Thank you, honey. But who all voted for the little orange orangutan in office? All the Triple K's did. The Proud Boys did. How is that?
You do realize President Trump won every swing state, right?
Go to my main page. My mom and my daddy's dark skin. They're all up in my page, bitch. And what? What'd you say?
I mean, you do realize President Trump won every single swing state, right?
By a little bit.
A win's a win.
A little bit. It doesn't matter, Tim. And I guarantee you, with your fluffing, no good, fat, fucking, no educated, bald-headed looking ass, let me tell you something. He probably actually stole them. And another thing is, let me tell you something. The people that voted for this is all racist. You feel what I'm saying? They voted for hate. All this was there because they didn't want a black woman. Oh, let's throw up and down. We're going to go to war with a black woman because she's in her feelings. Well, what are we going to do now in Iran?
You're telling me... Wait a minute. What the hell? Wait a minute. What in God's name? You're telling me that every single person that voted for Trump did it because of racism and hate?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Even the ratty raccoonies?
That's not
yeah, it is. No. Because the white, let me tell you, the black and brown mofos that did it, yes, master, they want...
Gangsta Grandma got taken off. It happens. Unfortunately, Gangsta Grandma, the app, big badass. Badass is the name she's going by, but they did take her down. Anyway, let me continue on the program. I take a beating. Tap the screen. She really tied, what did they say? She ripped my hide off, and then when tap the screen, get the likes on up to 50,000. We'll continue on with the show. She did have a long run, unspoken love. She got her point across. She actually tendered my hide there. I want to know who's responsible for that tomorrow. I don't know. I would like to know that as well because they would be immediately blocked. In the comments, Black Timmy, bad Gangsta Grandma, mad at Timmy, says Ryan. Yeah, she's a little bit angry, upset with me. I told you she would be cut off. Robert Kennedy, it happens. It actually happens. She was buying a Porsche a couple months ago. She isn't on welfare since me 22. Yeah, there you go. You have the patience of a saint, bro, says Tom B. Stone. She's talking about hate and she's shoveling her share. And a lot of people feel that way. I need you guys to tap the screen. For my YouTube viewers, certainly I need you guys to show the program some love by tapping that like button. It doesn't cost you a damn thing. Smash that like button if you're watching on YouTube. Helps out the algorithm, etc., etc., etc. We'll go on to the next caller, but we're talking about the State of the Union. Certainly will be tomorrow. And we're asking a question in regards to what are you expecting President Trump to say versus what is your current opinion of the union itself? How are you feeling about the State of the Union yourself? We'll go straight to the box. Gonna counter Gangsta Grandma a little bit with somebody who is a fan of Gangsta Grandmas. Straight Talk Commerce. Good evening.
I'm a big fan. Her appointment at the truck stop showed up, and she had to get on.
What are you trying to say? She's a truck driver?
I'm not trying to say anything. She gets a lot of business from truck stops, and in between appointments that she comes on here and talks to you and says all kinds of mean, horrible things to you. And everybody knows that. That's not a secret.
You're not referring to such creatures like a lot lizard, are you?
I am indeed. Yes, you 100% lot lizard.
Why are you disrespecting my callers? Gangsta Grandma is not.
I am not. I'm giving her the proper respect.
Oh,
it's exactly what. Listen, anyone that can, with a straight face, tell you that encounters at the border are less, and that's why Joe Biden had better border. I mean, are you really? She has to remind herself to breathe. As a matter of fact, I don't think she's smart enough to remind herself. She's got someone that has to be there to remind her to take her next breath.
Damn. So listen, I am critical of Trump in many different areas, but the border is one. The border is one where I do believe, just due to his draconian and very harsh policies, because the guy has talked about being allowed to shoot illegal immigrants in the leg, or better yet, building a moat and putting poison inside. I mean, he wants to kill illegal immigrants. So there's no way in hell I'm going to believe that the border is not secure under Trump.
You have the right to anyone that's accosting your border. You have the right to defend your border. I don't have a problem with that. I've been to countries where they were using the guns. The pew pews were pointed inward to keep people in the country. Tim, grow up a little bit.
I believe that absolutely. With President Trump
that's not what he was suggesting. He's trying to defend the castle.
Yeah, not yet.
He's trying to defend the castle.
I hear what you're saying, but I will tell you this: I don't think he's trying to say that. And I responded by saying not yet. You hear him talking about the birth rate and we need more babies. As he makes America more and better yet less and less friendly, I do picture a day where you could see the Trump administration limiting who can leave as well, because they could be taking finances with them and everything.
No. You totally misunderstand. You are welcome to pack your shit.
Anytime. Right now, I believe that. I could easily see with him talking about we need more babies, we need the birth rate and all that stuff. People start leaving, taking their money with them, taking their knowledge with them, and things like that.
No. You're misunderstanding. We are actively recruiting the top citizens from other countries to come here. That's what that statue in Harvard is all about. Bring us your tired, your poor. Yes, we are open for business. If you plan on coming here and being an American citizen, we got all kinds of incentives to bring you here.
Yeah.
What we do not want is for you to come here thinking that it's just an extension of what hellhole you came from.
Yeah. I disagree with you from the simple fact of, you say we're bringing in the top citizens from other countries. He's banned over half the planet.
No. We're not doing that right now. We've got to get rid of the riffraff that came in under Biden. What I'm saying is, once we get back to a level where we are comfortable with the people that are here, we know who they are, we know where they came from, then we are going to be back open for business for people who are really trying to make a better life for themselves.
Straight talk.
This country.
Straight talk. He will be dead before that happens. You're talking if according to Trump, there's 18 million or whatever. He'll be dead before that. We'll never reach that point.
Do you think that he's the only one with that idea? You are sadly mistaken.
No, because he's not going to. It's likely to have a flip in administrations eventually. What he is talking about, what you're talking about.
That's what no, Tim, no. Get it out of your head. There will never be another Democrat elected, ever.
That would be
out of your head right now. We ain't here for that.
If America will never have another Democrat elected, America will fail. Just like
succeed wildly.
No, that's bullshit. Just like you would imagine what America would be like if only Democrats won, how far to the left it would go. You can go too far, and it would be horrific the other way.
Hold on. If you keep electing Marco Rubio's and J.D. Vance's, and you teach your children correctly, this country will go back to how great it was after World War II, even before that. I mean,
right.
Look, we're Americans.
Right, you're right. When you had one religion, you had one group, one gender leading everything. Yeah, that's exactly what it would go back to. Religion. Yeah, if America does what you're talking about, where you never have another Democrat, and it goes way off the scale to the right, think about what far right countries are like. They're very religious. They do not favor minorities whatsoever. They mistreat women. Every far right country on earth does that. And that's what'll happen here.
No, you misunderstand.
I damn sure did.
I don't need you to look like me. I need you to think like me.
That ain't far right. That ain't far right.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it is. No, it's not.
Of course it is.
Name me a far right country that's like that. Name me a far right country that's like that.
Yeah. You do not, well, I'm talking about the United States here.
You're dreaming.
You do not get to determine what is far right and what is far left. I'm just telling you.
You have no.
You don't get further to the right than I do.
Oh, I don't get to tell you what's far right, but you fucking tell me every day what's far left, huh? That's how we playing this?
yeah, basically.
Hey, far right is going to be very selective in terms of you're going to pick and choose whose religion is dominant. It's going to be Christianity. Women are going to be marginalized back to the fucking kitchen wearing dresses, making babies, and all.
There is not a national religion in this country. Tell me what it is.
You guys are already talking about putting Christianity in schools. You're not talking about putting the Quran in schools.
No. We're asking you not to punish Christians. That's all we're asking.
Oh, so you're not.
There are places in this, Tim. There are places in this country where it is all Muslim, where it is all Jewish or all Chinese.
So you're not trying to put. You're not trying to put Bibles and shit in schools.
I am not trying to put.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your damn. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your party. Your party is not trying to.
My party is not trying to do that. They are trying to keep religion and education completely separate. We don't want that.
I think.
But if you're.
Go ahead. I think you're out of touch with your party. Is what I'm trying to say.
I don't. I'm a freaking precinct captain for my party. I don't think I am. I think you have in your mind made up what you think MAGA is, what you think the right is. And you're wrong, and you don't want to admit that.
No, I think you. I want you. Let me see if I'm
just like Charlie Kirk. You never listened to him in context. You still think that he was bad.
What?
Yeah, you still refuse to watch and learn from the man, and will get on here and talk about how bad he was and how racist he was, and you have yet to listen to him.
I listened to a lot. I want you, Charlie Kirk, you're not going to convince me, but I want you to hear this. This falls...
because you only listen to clips.
Go ahead. This is a news report.
Now to Oklahoma tonight and the new ruling involving the Bible in public schools. That state now mandating teaching the Bible in schools effective immediately, calling it an indispensable historical and cultural touchstone. Here's Matt Rivers tonight.
Tonight, the top education official in Oklahoma directing all schools across the state to incorporate the Bible and the Ten Commandments into the curriculum. The new requirement for grades 5 through 12, effective immediately.
Every teacher, every classroom in the state will have a Bible in the classroom, and we'll be teaching from the Bible in the classroom.
Oklahoma's Superintendent Ryan Walters calling the Bible a necessary historical document to teach our kids about the history of this country. The move...
Your opinion.
Well, that's Oklahoma, the buckle of the Bible Belt. They're not suggesting that be national.
Oh,
okay?
No.
States have rights. We've determined that states have rights. Am I educating my kids in Oklahoma? I am not, sir.
So, wait a minute. So, hold on. Wait a minute. So, when left-wing states were talking about transgender shit in schools, you didn't say, well, I'm not educating my kids in New York. You wanted them to stop. You wanted them not to do it.
Excuse me. No, you don't. No. When they brought that to my child's school, I told them to knock it off. I helped them figure out a way to knock it off. But I didn't tell Portland or Seattle or New York what they could teach their kids. I certainly did not. I welcome it. That's great. You go ahead and teach your kids that they can be anything they want to be, including changing their sex and gender.
But you do.
Give my child an advantage.
But you do understand now that your side is trying to shove Christianity down kids' throats.
They're not my side.
Who are they
then?
then?
My side if they're doing that. By the way, you cannot become a Christian if someone forces you. Do you understand that? You have to willingly say that you follow Jesus Christ. And you have to do that. You have to have a public declaration yourself saying that. I can't force you.
I'm going to tell you something. There's a reason why they used to show cartoons and shit to kids with like camels and all. Because if you don't start smoking by the time you're an adult, you probably are not. Religion's the same way. If you don't force religion on children and you just let them do whatever they want, by the time they reach adulthood, they ain't going to want to follow that stuff. You have
That's
to.
Not true.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not, Tim. Okay. People provide an example for their children. What am I supposed to do? Not take my child to church? I'm forcing my child into a religion by taking them to church.
You go next time you're at church, stand up and look around at all the kids that are under 12 there. Do they look like they want to be in that motherfucker? Yeah, they being forced. They don't want to be there.
Adults don't want to be there either.
They don't want to be there.
This is not limited to children. And by the way, can I tell you something? This is true right here, okay? My 5-year-old daughter, when she was 5 years old, came to me and said she wanted to be baptized. She didn't even know how to say it right. And I said, hey, look, that is something for our pastor to, I can't tell you, I don't know what to tell you. At 5 years old.
She thought she was,
Let me finish the story. He came over for lunch. I said, Reagan has something she'd like to ask. She said, I want to be baptized. He looked at me like I was about to hit him with a car. And I said to him, Lincoln, let me explain something to you. I would rather stand in front of my creator telling him why I baptized a 5-year-old than stand in front of him and telling him why I refused to. And she got baptized the next week.
Okay, she thought she was going swimming. I want you to hear this.
Some big choices this afternoon after the Texas School Board voted to allow Bible-infused curriculum in elementary schools. These bluebonnet learning lessons will be optional for school districts, but the state will give them an extra $60 a student as an incentive to use it. Supporters say the Bible is a core element of American history and will help put certain...
This is in Texas now. This ain't Oklahoma. Now this is in Texas.
Now, you have used 2 examples of religion in school, both of which were the Bible, were Christianity. Are you aware that some places have madrasas? Some are willing to introduce the Quran.
Give me a school that's doing that at the state governmental level.
North Texas, there is an entire town.
You talking about a town? We're talking about whole states. This is a state of Texas.
You wouldn't have a problem. If Michigan has a massive...
They're not doing that though. The state of Michigan, Governor Gretchen Whitmer is not talking about putting the Quran or prayer hour.
What would you say to them if they did?
I would say the same thing I'm saying to you. Don't shove a specific.
They can't have religious freedom in that state, is what you're saying.
I'm saying why would you teach out of the Bible as part of the curriculum and all these other kids? Why would you make a Muslim child read Bible verses? You know damn well if you tried to make a Christian child read stuff out of the Quran, folks like you would go ape shit. Y'all would be up to the school with rifles.
You are 100% that if someone tried to make my child do that, I would, and you described it perfectly, I would go absolutely apeshit. And I would understand any Muslim or Jewish family who went apeshit over the suggestion that their child should be forced to learn about someone else's.
I want to ask it to you this way. Why is there no outrage from MAGA from this? If you're telling me that if we had a far-right country, they wouldn't do this, we see the outrage from CRT, from LGBTQ issues. Why is there no outrage for this?
You want me to be outraged of people teaching kids about our creator. That's what you want me to...
No, I don't. I want you to admit my point is that if you had a government that went your way for eons, as you say, there's never going to be a Democrat, this is what would fucking happen. This is what would happen. It would be nationwide. You're not outraged by it. Like you said, it's our creator.
You would have a lot more Christians. I do think you'd have a lot more Christians.
Yeah, you would have a lot more. You would have a lot more citizens. You would have a lot more citizens in school that wouldn't have a choice. All of the schools would be forcing kids to read from the Bible. That's what a far right government would do.
I don't think that's true. I think that you should give freedom of religion, and if a state has enough people in it that they want the curriculum to include Christianity or include Bible lessons, not even Christianity, but Bible lessons from a historical document, then they should be allowed to do that.
Texas has been controlled by Republicans for 30 some odd years now. Oklahoma is the reddest state in the union. They're both doing this. So that's clear-cut evidence that if you guys get your way for a substantial period of time, this is what's going to happen. I don't know why you're trying to deny it. It's pretty clear.
I don't think it's. I'm denying it because it's not true. I think that there are some areas of this country that would do this. No matter who was in the president, no matter who was in office.
Let me see what the comments.
Are you saying? Hold on. Are you saying to me that you don't think that those same people doing this now weren't trying to do this under Obama or Biden? Is that
I'm
your
saying
argument?
I'm saying if it goes the way you're saying, where you're going to have Republicans from now on in national government, I'm saying they're not going to be trying to do it. It's going to become law. But I want to ask folks in the comments, by way of yes or no, how many of you folks agree with me, by way of yes or no, that if we had a right-wing government for as long as he's illustrating, where the Democrats are never going to win.
Well, it is your channel. You have some real winners intellectually in here.
Yeah, I got plenty of.
I mean, what are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that not only would it happen, but you would be in favor of it, as you just said.
That's my channel. Let's come over to my channel.
Well, your side will tell you racism don't exist no more.
You got to say it. Hey, listen, I've got no argument. I don't disagree with that.
I mean,
the last time you listen to me, actually, I think very highly of them.
You got
100% do.
You still trying to convince me that Charlie Kirk is from the hood? Your side don't tell the truth.
He's not from the hood.
Your side ain't honest, man. Your side is not honest, man.
I'll be honest with you. I thought we were going to talk about the Supreme Court ruling on tariffs. I thought there were other things on your mind when I requested up. I honestly did. I haven't been able to speak to you. I've been in solitary confinement in TikTok jail because of you.
Because of some shit you said. I got 2 minutes. How do you feel about the tariffs and getting struck down by the SCOTUS?
Well, now that we have got the ruling that it's perfectly legal for what the president is doing, I don't expect the Democrats to say anything else. I think that was a massive slap to the face of Democrats. The Supreme Court basically came out and said, hey, this is what you were trying to do. The way you were trying to do it is not the way to do it. And he just pivoted, changed directions, and is doing the exact same thing. And I also think that none of those, yes.
Okay, what he is doing, he can only do for 150 days, and he got to potentially pay a ton of money back.
No, wrong. He has all Section 301 tariffs he can use. He has Section 211 tariffs he can use.
But he can't do it. None of them are going to be indefinitely like what he was trying to do.
100% they are. And by the way, you're right, they actually won't be once we've signed deals with the rest of the countries that we need to sign deals with.
So if the Supreme Court smacked down the Democrats, then why the hell was he crying?
Well, because he's got a little bit of a mess he's got to clean up.
A little bit.
And it wasted a lot of time.
You got to pay back potentially billions of dollars. That's a little bit of a mess.
No. And here's why. Because any country or anyone that decides that they are going to request a refund is going to get double that tariff on a 301 or a 211.
So if a corporation requests, because they ate a lot of the tariffs this year.
Whoever sues, whatever country, you don't hear these countries.
I'm talking about Americans. American corporations ate some of that tax. If they ask for their money back, Trump is going to take revenge on them?
No. That's not who got the tariff anyway. The tariffs came from those countries, China, Laos, Cambodia. You guys keep thinking, go ahead and keep thinking that the consumer pays the tariff. That is absolutely false information, and I don't understand how you remain on.
So you're telling me
false information.
No, I think what you're saying is false. You're telling me if you impose a tariff on China and they do something back in retaliation, who pays the retaliation?
No. What I'm saying to you is if you are charged a tariff, you're doing business in China, there are 8 ways for an American company to avoid paying the tariff on China. When we tariff China, we're not paying that tariff. They are. It's to punish them. And the proof of that is China and almost every other country has tariffs on us. Hold on, Tim. Their consumers are not suffering.
That makes no sense. When we impose tariffs on these countries, they retaliate and do things back to us. You're not taking that into consideration. Somebody has to suffer what they do in return.
Because we were not tariffing them. We were, until Trump, we were not tariffing those countries.
I'm talking about under Trump. I'm talking about under Trump when he held up hang on. When he held up that Liberation Day board, it increased the tariffs. You're telling me those countries just ate it, huh?
Yes, absolutely. They're the ones that paid those tariffs.
Why do you think we had income? And they didn't do nothing in retaliation. They just paid the extra money.
Yes.
That is false.
Yes, they wanted access. They wanted access to you.
That is false. A lot of those,
it is not.
some of those countries stopped doing business with us entirely. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? They decided to stop selling to the United States?
Yeah, they found other. I'm telling you that Brazil benefited from that. I'm telling you that China with soybean. Yeah, he had to bail out the farmers because people stopped doing business with them.
You are conflating two different things.
No.
This is what I'm talking about. You're talking about stuff, giving out false information about stuff.
Everything we're talking about is in connection with him imposing those tariffs. Countries responded and retaliated. You didn't see any of that.
100% no. What the president did was fix long-standing inequities between the United States and all of these other countries. They were leeches taking advantage of the United States. They're not doing that anymore.
You literally believe that the man could just tariff people and they just all ate it. Nobody responded. Nobody did it. They just all decided we got to pay more now.
You believe that those countries get to tariff us and no problem, but we can't tariff them in a reciprocal way. That's what you believe.
Okay.
Which one of those things do you think is false?
Well, unfortunately for time, I got to move it on, but we'll have to finish this conversation. You think I'm wrong? I think you're totally wrong as a result. And
we are still the number one economy in the world, you moron. And we are double the number two.
And you keep voting for a guy that's trying to make us dead last. I gotta go. We'll do it. We'll do it on the next one. Thank you, Straight Talk. Appreciate it. The idea that we could tariff the whole world and everybody, we just all got to bow down. Is there anybody that believes that? Look, I understand a lot of my beloved MAGA see what Trump is doing as a way to bring home money to America, et cetera, et cetera. I think Trump has said he's brought home $1 trillion or something like that. But the idea that nobody responded, nobody retaliated, they just all took it. When Trump was moving the tariffs around like musical chairs, you had a actual former leader down in Brazil that was being prosecuted for allegedly trying to stage a coup. President Trump was friendly to that individual from his first term. He didn't want Brazil to prosecute the guy. Brazil went ahead with the prosecution anyway. He punished Brazil by raising their tariffs. That has nothing to do with a trade imbalance or anything. That's just you're using tariffs just because you don't like the behavior of another country. They ended up prosecuting the guy. I think he got 27 years in prison or something like that. But I don't understand how any of us can believe we're so high and mighty that we could just do anything to anybody and they just have to eat it. I can't believe he thinks that. But let me see if I can get somebody else. Maybe he's right and I'm wrong. We'll move on with the show. I need you guys to tap the screen, get us up to 60,000 for my TikTok viewers. Certainly, if you're watching on YouTube, smash that like button. We need that. No, we need lumber from them. Yeah, you talking about Canada? Michigan syrup is fine with me. I don't know what you mean by that. I meant to say tariffs, this damn, what do you say, this damn voice to get it. I don't know what you're saying there. Nobody talking about what's happening in Mexico right now. I did discuss it at the beginning of the monologue. Blue One Banks, appreciate the galaxy. Thank you very much. Mexico just, the Mexican government just took out one of the head leaders of the cartel. I think many of you guys are aware of this. And it's literally caused that country to descend into chaos in many areas, descend into chaos. In fact, I actually had a clip to queue up on that. My computer's just acting like shit today, but there are plenty of Americans in Mexico. Under President Trump, that number has likely increased, some due to his draconian deportation policies, so that when some folks are being deported, your spouse gets deported or your kids get deported or whatever the case may be, some folks are following their families back into Mexico. Well, because of what's happening, it's not safe for Americans in Mexico. Now, I'm surprised this hasn't happened sooner because of just how we're treating people south of the border. I'm really surprised that Americans in that region haven't faced the Nancy Guthrie treatment, so to speak. I'm surprised it hasn't happened already because we are currently treating Hispanics in America really, really bad. I mean, they're seeing the images of what's going on in Minnesota and people being grabbed up and dragged all of these places and families crying and shit, kids getting taken out of schools. They're seeing this stuff. I'm really surprised that, and of course we can add in there what's happening in Cuba right now, where the country is having severe blackouts because we're preventing energy from going to that. I mean, the Hispanic population is really reeling due to the policies of President Trump. He is really making that entire subset of people pay significantly, not only in America, but you got to think what we're doing in Cuba, where they're dealing with rolling blackouts, no energy, creating a humanitarian crisis in Cuba. And we are now deporting our Cubans, now that we've canceled TPS status, we're deporting them back into that crisis. So not only are we fucking up Cuba, we're deporting the Cubans here back into that. So we're really, really making the Hispanic population suffer some awful shit. And yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't happened already, that the Hispanic population hasn't started grabbing up loose Americans throughout the Latin world. I'm really surprised it hasn't happened already. People are angry with this country. We will be paying long after Trump is gone, says James Brantley. I agree with that. I agree with that. And you say, who is mad? Straight talk. You don't know who's mad with this country. You don't think what we're doing to Iran, we're literally threatening our way to glory. That is Trump's answer for everything. Do what I say for you to do, or I'm going to punish you, whether economically or by way of violence. Yeah, plenty of people are mad with this country, and unfortunately, the people that's making them angry are out of reach. They got endless security. They're exceptionally wealthy. They are out of reach. So what happens? They're going to get us, you and I. When they want to come and do something, it's your family sitting at a ball game or enjoying a concert or something of that. The same thing what happened in Israel on October 6th. They're angry with Netanyahu. They're angry with the Israeli government, but look who they got. Kids outside just enjoying a concert. That's who pays the price for what we do. Well, you elected the motherfucker, so you the ones we coming after. He wouldn't be there if it wasn't for you, so you qualify as a target. That's how it happens. That's how it happens. So they do it. They receive the spoils of what they're doing. But when that party responds, you and I pay the price for that. They don't. They don't. Mar-a-Lago's going to be fine from now to eternity until they decide to put something else there. It'll be fine. It's you and I who ends up paying the price. You're in church, you're in the supermarket, et cetera, et cetera. You and I are the ones that pay the price. But in regards to that story, I did want to...
Omar, thank you so much for hopping on this call. Quite a situation playing out. You went to Mexico for a marathon that ended up being canceled, and now your flight out tomorrow is canceled, and you're having to shelter in place. How are you doing? Can you set the scene for us?
Well, right now it's just, trying to stay relaxed, not nervous, not panic. Just trying to see what I'm going to have to do tomorrow for food. I have enough for today, but as far as tomorrow, I'm not.
I will interrupt this and say that Casillas, that's his name, He's fortunate. He's of Mexican descent. Just shut the fuck up. You'll be all right. They're not gonna mess with you. You look Mexican, so you're not a gringo walking around. So I think he'll be fine. But the point is clear. He's having trouble getting home. But all he got to do is start speaking Spanish and shut the fuck up. Dress down a little bit. You are dress down to blend in. You'll be okay. Anyway, let me go ahead and move on with the program. So you're blaming a future terrorist attack on. You're blaming a future terrorist attack. U.S. citizens, Trump, do me a favor. You're crazy. I don't quite get the second half of your statement there, Camille, but yeah, I am saying that blowing up Venezuelan boats. I don't know. I don't know how the Venezuelans feel about us taking out Maduro. We're going to show you the ones that are happy. I get it. But I don't know if the whole country is happy that we took out Maduro. Just like when we took out Saddam Hussein, we're going to show you the ones that thought of us as liberators. The whole country don't feel that way. Same thing we did when we took out the Taliban or limited them while we were in Afghanistan. So we're only going to show you the people that are happy. But there are plenty of people behind the scenes that are not happy with us taking over all these countries. So yeah, the end result is they find ways to get back at us for doing that because it makes a lot of their lives miserable. And the only way they can get back at us is to get the soft targets in America. You and I are those type of targets. They're not going to get hardened targets. They don't have a conventional warfare to compete with us. So they go after soft targets. That's what ends up happening. Anyway, let me go back to the box. What does that say? Who's not happy? The first I'm hearing it. Yeah, well, you're hearing that nobody's happy because it's probably the media you watch. Like, right-wing media made it sound like Greenland was eager for us to take them over. Canada wants to be the 51st state. That's what right-wing media is showing you, that all these countries just want to be part of the United States. That ain't true. Miss Mo Betta, good evening. Welcome to the program, Miss Mo.
Hey, buddy.
I'm in the...
I'm giving you a nice greeting because, I don't know where the F that mofo just come from, but goodness gracious. Now, he got up there and said that you can't force Christianity on anybody because but as soon as somebody, they have a trans go in a classroom and read a book, then they're up in arms. Is that not the same thing?
It is the same thing, and I think it's exactly what he was alluding to, is that I'm okay with it when it's something I favor, but if, like you said, I'm not gonna be critical if you're actually, doing it for my religion. So they're okay with it.
Exactly. It's just so hypocritical until it's not even funny anymore. They really should have people like that studied.
Well, it's just typical hypocrisy. I mean, like, for instance,
This is the same thing, straight talk. It is the same thing.
Yeah, it is the same thing.
How could you, what are they for? They're in there reading books to kids. What is that forcing them to do?
Yeah. And the book tells you if you don't do this or that, God's going to send you to hell or make you burst into flames. Yeah, you're indoctrinating them. I mean,
and they mad at that. And King James was a homosexual, and y'all glorify that Bible. Stop playing. Stop being selective.
Well, I mean, they're going to say it's a Christian country and all of that.
Of course, with all the priests raping little boys and the nuns and shit. But it's Christian.
No.
Stop. These so-called wannabe patriot Christians need to knock it all the way off.
Well, this is the administration we voted in. State of the Union tomorrow. Are you going to watch it?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it because I need something to laugh at. Because first it's gonna get up. I'm gonna count how many times Biden. The last administration, Biden. He might throw an Obama in there somewhere, but he know he can't hold the candle to Obama's foot. Biden. Like, the economy. We have the greatest economy in the world. The border is secure.
What are you saying? The guy got. What are you saying? The crazy thing is you often hear about TDS and Trump derangement syndrome. My question is, why is it not called Biden derangement syndrome when you talk about this guy over and over and over again like that?
Because they're hypocrites too. And that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
That's hypocrisy in its finest.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's hard not to see that as hypocrisy. If you can see Trump derangement syndrome, But you're not accusing Trump of having Biden deranged and saying, yeah, you're hypocritical.
Yeah, because I was having a conversation earlier with somebody and they was talking about the Trump files, and it was like, oh well, what about Biden, Obama, and what about Bill Clinton? They so sold on. See, Bill Clinton called them out. He called them out. He said, let's do this. And we're going to do this in the public. We're going to do this in the public sector. We don't want to do no behind closed doors. I'll give you a testimony with cameras rolling in public, not behind closed doors. You see, they backed off of him, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think we'll ever get to the bottom of the Epstein stuff? I mean, obviously Trump is not a big fan of us knowing everything. That's been clear from day one.
He shouldn't have opened his mouth. He shouldn't have ran on that and said that, oh, I'm going to release the files. Oh yeah, you did. You released 3 million pages or something. You redacted the perpetrators and exposed the victims. Make that shit make sense.
Well, in regards to making things make sense, it's crazy that one guy, because they call it the Epstein files, one guy could be involved in so much shit that it produces 3 million pages of data. Like, at what point?
Money is good money.
Yeah, but I have to ask, when you take in consideration what's already been in the files, and thank you, Dan, when you take in consideration of what's already been in the files, like, at what point do you stop writing more shit on these people and start arresting folks? Like, you just
start locking them up.
Yeah, like you got 3 million pages.
Didn't they just do that over to Prince Andrew on his birthday?
Yeah. Yeah, but
on his birthday, got them silver bracelets for his birthday.
But what I'm concerned with is, how did you end up creating 3 million pages without arresting people in the process? Like, all of this stuff, you just writing it down?
I wish I had the answer to that, but I don't. I do. You got powerful people with a lot of money, and they just pay their way around until it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, and I see in the comments somebody said he released the files. He's the only one who worked to convict Jeffrey Epstein.
See, and this is the thing. This is what was pissing me off. People that saying that, oh, he called the cops on Epstein. Listen, how many offenders that you know that were co-defendants and turned state's evidence on their code-E because they didn't want to go to jail? Yeah. That shit happens all the time. Yeah. Stop acting like people can't snitch because they don't want to go to jail. That's exactly what's happening here. And now you don't have Jeffrey Epstein here to even defend himself, so it's going to be my word against a dead man.
Yeah. I mean, the idea that Trump talked to this sheriff or something like that. I mean, the fact is he became president a second time and immediately started saying things like, stop talking about Epstein and it's a hoax. So he clearly was not trying to get to the bottom of it. I mean,
like that shit is crazy. You can't make this shit up. You can't make, and they have a overwhelming amount of evidence and won't do anything. But I blame that shit on the Supreme Court.
What do you mean?
You understand how Trump maneuvers and the shit and all of this stuff that he does between the Supreme Court and Congress.
Well, Congress, I could understand with Congress. I'm not going to blame the Supreme Court as much because you got 3 people, 33% of the Supreme Court he handpicked himself. You would expect the Supreme Court to do what they're doing. I mean, it's a 6-3 majority. If the liberals had a 6-3 majority and Biden picked 3 of them, it would be the same shit. I mean, he handpicked the Supreme Court.
But I don't think we'd be at the Supreme Court with these same kind of stories with Biden either.
No, it would be stuff that is far to the left, but it would still.
They were going after Biden's son, somebody who's not even in office.
Yeah.
They were going hard to find him, and he ain't had shit to do with no office. He wasn't in office nowhere.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing with that. But what I'm saying is, if you had a 6-3 left majority on the Supreme Court, it wouldn't be a fair court. Just like it's not a fair, unbiased court now.
But this is a whole new level of shit, though, Tim.
Yeah.
Come on, you told he getting away with unaliving people on waters where he don't know where they were going or where they were coming from.
Would you support packing the court?
No, I would like a balanced court. I'm fair. I like to be fair about this shit. You know why? Because at some point they'd probably end up turning on my ass too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you're not going to get a fair, balanced court until some of them die. I mean, if you don't pack the court.
Well, maybe they need to switch that up then. Maybe they should be voted out too. When you get to retirement age, start getting recycling. I mean, circulating this shit. Bring in some fresh meat. They should do that with Congress and stuff too. They shouldn't be having 82-year-olds in there making decisions.
So what are you saying? Pass a law that limits the age a person can be a justice?
That's unjust. Yes, because I don't know if any of the smart people know, but the older you get, you lose brain cells. You lose brain waves.
Shit, well.
That's for anybody. Yeah, you got some people that are a little sharper than others. However, we still lose brain waves the older you get. Your body starts deteriorating because we're not immortal.
Well, I mean, Clarence Thomas seems to be all right. He's dependable.
You mean Clarence Thomas? When I tell you he's the most bought Sambo that I've ever seen. He's awful.
So
and he did Anita Hill dirty.
So what age would you limit the Supreme Court to?
What is retirement age?
65?
67.
So you would lose Alito, you would lose Clarence. I think there's another one in there. How old is Roberts? You would probably lose 3 justices by doing that.
I don't know. Half of them drunk and the other half is probably demented. So I don't know. Shit. Well, but again, I when it comes to stuff like that at retirement, I think they should retire. Stop, because people are gatekeeping this shit now, which you can show favoritism. You know what I mean?
That is if the liberals get in there under Trump, and I know Straight Talk has already said it's going to be Republicans from now to eternity. But if the liberals,
all kind of shit with his 90 job having ass, he done did every fucking thing under the sun and don't know shit. He talk about we don't depend on Canada for nothing. Where do you think I'm here in New York? Where do you think we get our energy from? Canada, slow guy.
Yeah. Well, but if the liberals do not want to pack the court, and they end up with the House and Senate, I guess that is one way to even things out without having to pack the court to pass some kind of law that limits the age. That would be one way to do it.
Yeah, I would limit the age. Like, come on, retire out. Like you old. You got, like I said, in Congress, you got some people that's like 82. What's that 82-year-old lady name? What's her name? I forgot her name. Anyway, she old as fuck.
Senator Feinstein?
Whatever her name is, she is old. She needs to be home. Let some younger people get in, and because that way people are growing with the times. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a lot of these older people that are still living in the Jim Crow era.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, I don't know. I mean, if the Democrats do that, but then once you do that, you open up the doors for the Republicans when they get back in it to do something wild as well. But I think even the right.
They do stuff wild now, Tim. Just fuck. That ain't stopping them. Yeah. They do wild shit now. It don't even matter. They don't care. They Mike Johnson, he stays sending them on vacation and shit. They won't vote on this and they won't do nothing. They don't care. Mike Johnson is weak as fuck. He's one of the weakest people I've ever seen in office.
Well, he's doing what Trump wants him to do, and what
makes him a weak.
If Mike Johnson stopped being as weak as you're suggesting, he would literally cancel his entire political future. By doing what Trump wants, he's making it so his constituents like him. If he goes against Trump, they're gonna vote him out of office.
I think he's gonna be out anyway, little fuck boy. He should be out.
What area is Mike Johnson from? I'm trying to think. What state?
I don't even know where he's from, but he's weak as hell.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to say Mike Johnson is weak. I think what Mike Johnson is doing is what's in his best interest. Right now, Trump is winning everywhere. I'm riding the wave. Trump is the most powerful man on earth. And I'm gonna follow him because it's political. Louisiana. They're saying he's from Louisiana.
Disgusting all at the same time. He's awful.
Yeah, if you go against Trump in Louisiana, you're done. So he's doing what's in his best interest, what's in his best financial interest, what's in his best political future best interest. He is doing what it takes to stay in office. If he goes against Trump, he's gonna be hanging out with Marjorie Taylor.
That sucks for him because him, Cash Patel, they all look like they're deer caught in headlights. When you see them, their eyes be this big when they like, what the hell are they on? That booger sugar?
I mean, and I see in the comments, JJ said, whatever, coon. I'm saying is that, simply put.
Hello, Ryan? What's going on? All right, Tim, drop me real quick.
All right, okay, I got you. Take care of that. What I'm saying is they're choosing power over all else, choosing wealth over all else. Fact is, if you are a conservative, a Republican, and you ride the wave of President Trump, you're going to remain at the highest levels of power while you do that. And of course, there's a ton of money you're going to make. Marjorie Taylor Greene was doing really good. I'm surprised she jumped off for the Epstein file stuff because she stood to continue making money and things like that. So my guess is Mike Johnson is riding that wave. That ain't something that the liberals are not likely to do as well. I mean, they're riding the wave. It's as simple as that. There's probably a lot of us watching that may do something crazy like that. Take your pick. Anyway, looking in the comments, they have always trained kids. Like, okay, he was talking to each other, or he said something along those lines as recent as a few months ago. Well, that's what they're doing, though. They're riding a wave. I mean, Vivek Ramaswamy was trying to do that. You know, he was riding Trump's coattails. Just say whatever this guy says. I mean, as long as Trump is speaking favorably of you and saying you're a patriot and a good person, all of the folks that are MAGA in your district, and if your district is overwhelmingly MAGA, you're going to keep winning. So some of them folks are just sitting back and being quiet because it means a really good paycheck and political future for them for a while. Idolizing Trump and his love for gold isn't healthy. Either always criticize politicians. Well, healthy or not, it's healthy for your bank account. It's healthy for your political future. If you're in a if you're in a swing state or an area that kind of goes back and forth, a purple area, then yeah, if you're riding the wave of Trump, there's going to come a day soon where you're going to probably lose your job in a purple area. But if you're in a blood red area, riding the wave of Trump, it's likely to take you to fame and fortune. There's so many problems in the economy. It's not like we can just dismantle the government and expect to clean it up. Every single system I've ever observed was and will be exploited. There's a lot to unpack there. I'm not disagreeing with all that, but I don't know if any of that stuff has gotten better under President Trump. Continuing on, though, with the program, we'll make it happen with MAGA Reacts. Good evening, MAGA. Just like Peter Piper, follow right to the water. That's going to happen. That actually is going to happen. People are going to follow Trump right to the edge and go over. MAGA, good evening.
Hey, my bad. I had you muted for a second. What's going on?
Well, the State of the Union is tomorrow. What is your view of the current state of America? Is it favorable? Now, what are you expecting to hear Trump say versus how do you feel we're doing right now?
I mean, I you know me. Up till now, I've given him like a C. I upgraded to like a B minus. I think he's a B minus. If he gets his shit together, I think he'll get to A minus, and I think he'll win the midterms. If he doesn't get his shit together and stays as a B minus, he's fucked at the midterms. But hopefully he'll get shit together by the end of his 4 years.
4 years is a different, what he got almost 3 years left. That's a different conversation. But in regards to the midterms, I think it's too close, MAGA Reacts. You say get his shit together.
No, it's not. It's
okay.
Nowhere near. I mean, everything feels a lot longer with Trump.
Give me.
You make it sound like the midterms are tomorrow. The midterms are like 9 months. Right?
That ain't okay. So when you say get his shit together, give me the areas you think he needs to get together before the midterms.
Well, he needs to fucking start winning this PR war with ICE, or just give up the ICE war altogether and just quietly make it go away. I mean, he gives Bondi is fucking him up because she sucks in front of a camera. Some of these idiots are just not doing well in front of a camera, and we're just losing the PR war over nothing. Like,
do you think he does well in front of a camera?
He does okay. I mean, he does the same as always. The thing with him is just he outworks everybody. He does okay, but he does it every fucking day, 2 hours a day. So he outworks you. It's not that he's a better politician, a better anything. He just outworks you. He's in front of a camera 2 hours a day versus even like the best Democrat, fucking Newsom or Jasmine Crockett. You see 5 minutes every like 2 days, a week. How are you going to compare 2 hours a day to
Well, I'll tell you something, though. To some degree, it's probably in the Democrats' best interest because Trump is in front of the camera. And I agree with you. He's in front of the camera a hell of a lot more than any other politician. And he fucks up more in front of the camera more than any other politician. He makes bad, controversial statements and quotes and stuff that other politicians probably know. You can't talk too much.
Yeah, but both sides get what they want out of him. You get the bad shit, his side gets the good shit. And as long as more people are getting the good shit than the bad shit, he'll be okay. And I think that's always been true with Trump. Slightly more people get the good shit he's saying than people getting the bad shit that you're misreading or maybe shit he's actually saying. It depends on the situation.
Well, I think in regards to what you said before the midterms, you said, win a PR war with ICE. I'm going to tell you my opinion. I think the damage with ICE is done. I don't think what happened to Alex Preddy and Renee Good, and you got you mentioned Pam Bondi. You didn't even mention Christy Nome jumping out there calling Alex Preddy a domestic terrorist and saying he was approaching them with guns. And I don't think you can clear that up by November. I just don't. I mean, that image is there.
That shit will be forgotten or replaced in a month.
You said what?
That shit will be forgotten or replaced in a month.
You really think that whole Alex Preddy thing will go away in a month?
No, what Christy Nome said will go away in a month.
Well, that's where it's up to the Democrats.
Debatable. Preddy is debatable. Nicole is Renee is debatable. I have a whole video on Renee. I want to.
How the hell is Alex Preddy's death debatable? In what way?
He was fucking with ICE for a whole 10 minutes straight. You guys only see the last 3 minutes. Last time he went up to them. There's videos of him going up to them twice before. That video of him 2 weeks before. I mean, he's been consistently fucking with ICE.
I don't see any of that. Okay, and, I don't see any of that. Nothing you're mentioning makes Alex Preddy a lethal threat. We can say he deserves to be arrested. I would agree with that. Fucking with ICE, I would agree with that. But a lethal threat? He's not a lethal. None of that's a lethal threat, though. Resisting arrest is not a lethal threat.
No, but it caused the lethal situation.
No, it didn't.
That gun.
No.
He should have gone up to them, be like, "Hey, I have a weapon." No. And then did his
none of that. Yeah, that. Listen, when you look at what's
he was poking a bear with a he was poking a bear with a steak in his back pocket, and you're mad that the bear bit off his fucking.
I like the fact
going up to a bear with a steak.
I like the fact that you're actually admitting that they were bears. I like the fact that you're now admitting
they're fucking bears.
Right?
That's what we hired them to do, to be bears and enforce the law.
No, the police. Your local police are hired to enforce the law. They're not bears. You're admitting that those guys were goons by using that analogy. I like the fact that you are doing that. That's probably why he ended up getting taken out.
They're trained to handle weapons a certain way, and I don't want to say they're perfect. They're not perfect. They fucked up in a lot of ways. But he didn't make it.
The Alex Preddy situation. Look, I think if you find the right it ain't debatable. If you find the right jury, it ain't fucking debatable. It's debatable to somebody who wants to see innocent people get killed. I think the Renee Good situation. No, look, you got folks that are firing. You got folks that are firing down into Preddy after he's been disarmed. So what the hell are they seeing over the barrel of their firearm? The guy has nothing.
Look, how does they know he's disarmed?
Then what are you shooting at? So what are you shooting at a guy? Wait, hold on. You don't see a firearm because, as you say, how do they? So what are you doing? You're just shooting at somebody you think is armed?
Well, supposedly they heard a gunshot or some other shit.
That ain't got nothing to do with him.
But look, what it goes down to, if he didn't have a gun on him, he would be with us. If he would have warned them and be like, "Hey, I have a gun." The other three, he already interacted with them 3 times. If one of those times be like, "Hey, I have a gun, I'm not gonna use it," if he would have gave him a heads up,
that ain't got nothing to do with what we're talking about. That ain't got.
That's what you normally do with a cop.
But that ain't. Listen, I'm not saying. Look, that ain't got nothing to do. I'm not saying that ain't got nothing to do with what we're talking about. Just because he was irresponsible while armed does not make him a lethal threat.
Irresponsible. He was beyond responsible. He was negligent.
When you look at the video, wait, hold on, hold on a damn minute. When you look at Alex Pretty losing his life, you see the guy walk up. First of all, he's been bear sprayed. He's been knocked over the head with a can of the bear spray, and then they take the firearm from him, and then
Tim, this was the second time they bear sprayed him today. He was bear sprayed. They pushed him to the sidewalk. He came back. They bear sprayed him. He came back. I mean, he keeps coming back.
I asked you a simple question. I asked you a simple question. None of that has any. I asked you a simple question. When they were firing into his body, what are they seeing over the barrel of their gun that makes it justified to shoot him? What are they looking at?
They know he has a gun. They don't know if he has a second gun or not. They don't
know. Why are you saying they know he has a gun?
That didn't tell him he was armed. That's been provoking them and spitting on them and kicking their cars and doing all kinds of shit to fucking curse them out. He's hostile as fuck, and then you find out he's got a gun.
No.
What is that?
Okay, first of all, I'm not even 100% certain. I'm not even 100% certain the people shooting him knew he had a gun. I think you're adding that in there. I'm not even sure they knew he had one.
No, they found it. They yelled gun. 4 of them yelled gun, gun, gun when they found it.
Okay. So just because your partner yells firearm, you just start shooting even though you don't see.
You find out someone has been hostile to you.
That got nothing to do with it.
Your work and is basically a stalker. You find out that a stalker that you're trying to arrest and he's resisting arrest has a gun, and you're like.
Well, they obviously did not know when they started popping him. They didn't find out he had a gun because the guy who took it.
They yelled gun.
Okay, but you don't even know who they yelling at has it. You don't even when they just
the guy they're fucking arresting. Who else would have it? The rest of them are all fucking cops. Who else would they care if they had a gun or not? Not the guy they're arresting. 4 of them are like gun, 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 while they're fucking trying to put him down.
So you're telling me
this is not even debatable. Like, come on.
So you're telling me that if you're out with another cop, if that cop yells gun, you don't need to see shit. Just his yell is enough to kill somebody.
Why is he yelling gun?
You didn't answer the question. You did not answer the question. You did not answer the question. You ain't answering the question. You did not answer the question. If your partner yells gun, you're saying that's enough to start killing people.
Well, if you think this person's going to use the gun, yes. Especially if
you're still not answering the question.
And the person he's looking at, and then you're looking at the person and you hear a fucking gunshot. I mean, look, I'm not saying they're innocent, but I'm not going to hang them over it either.
Why did they hear a gunshot? Alex Pretty didn't fire a gunshot. So why did they hear a gunshot?
His gun went off. It's not a cheap gun, but a gun that goes off by itself. I don't know if that's 100% true, but that seems to be the most, like, what most people agree about. That his gun went off, and it fucking caused these cops to think he was shooting at them, and they killed him.
When you look at the video, I don't see anybody jump like a gun went off. I just see them start shooting. I don't even believe a gun went off. That didn't happen.
I don't know if it's true or not. I just know that's what most people think.
Just like she said he's the domestic terrorist. That's coming from people that's trying to defend bad policing.
That's a bullshit technicality. She's trying to play technical games. I don't even like that. I don't think he was.
Well,
but I mean, you could if you want to be technical, yes. But that's just being super technical.
I think if to me, once you start defending, we could talk about Renee Good because she was trying to escape and she did bump into an officer. That's debatable. But what happened to Alex? No, hold on, hang on. You're all over the place. What happened to Renee Nicole Good?
Consistent. They were both negligent.
No. Renee Nicole Good actually was. Renee Nicole Good was actually driving a vehicle in the direction. To me, that's more debatable. Alex Pretty's on the fucking ground, face down.
Cars kill more people than guns, Tim.
I just said Renee Nicole Good's case is more debatable. Alex Pretty, there's no debate there. There is no debate. That was a wrongful, unjustified killing.
They're both being very negligent. They weren't following common sense and common rules.
And?
Well, it's not 2019. I'm sorry, it's not 2000. Fuck it. I can't even say 2009. It's not 2000 anymore. Everybody knows this shit. It's all over the internet. There's a bunch of gun channels that tell you how to behave when dealing with a cop when you have a gun. There's a bunch of fucking videos and shit. I had to do a 4-hour course about driving, just because I was speeding. And there's a bunch of shit that should tell you not to drive into people. When there's someone in front of your car, you hit the brakes.
I think here's where I see the problem.
I can't defend these people being
Here's where I see the problem. You see misbehavior from Alex Preddy. You don't see it from ICE. Just like a citizen owning a firearm has to be told you should be responsible. Hold on, hang on. Let me finish the sentence. Just like you're saying, a citizen with a firearm is responsible for a certain level of behavior. So are officers using lethal force. You have to actually see a threat. Somebody yelling gun and you can't just start popping people because somebody yelled gun. One of the protesters could be yelling gun.
They also supposedly heard a gunshot. I don't know exactly.
You need to figure out what direction that shot's coming from, who fired. You can't just start blindly shooting people. That's what they did. And they shot somebody who was no lethal threat to them at all. They killed a man who was not a lethal threat.
They were trying to arrest. He was resisting arrest, and he happened to have a gun.
No.
Okay.
When they shot him, he didn't have a gun. When they shot him, he did not have a gun.
No, but he had it. He had it. They took it off him.
The minute he is disarmed,
they know he had it. Look, they know he had it because someone yelled gun. They don't know he was disarmed because nobody yelled.
I don't see any. Even if he had a gun, even if I don't see a lot of things you're mentioning.
They fucking stand down.
A lot of things you're mentioning, I don't see. I don't see him resisting arrest like that. The second thing is I don't see him reaching for a gun, even if he had a gun. I don't see him reaching for one.
He was resisting arrest without violence. He was just resisting. He wasn't fighting back. He wasn't being violent. It's called resisting arrest without violence. It's when someone is trying to arrest you and you won't get out the car, or you won't let them put the cuffs on you, or you won't fucking just cooperate what they're trying to do when they're trying to arrest you.
I didn't see any of that.
That's called resisting without violence.
I didn't see. They took that dude down so fucking quick. He didn't have time to resist. I don't see. When you look at that video,
he ain't. He had 3 chances. 3 chances. They told him to keep his ass on the sidewalk.
Everything you're talking about,
sidewalk and telling him stay here.
Everything you're talking about before that is irrelevant. Everything you're talking about, when he kicked the tail light off the car 11 days ago, you're talking about a lot of irrelevant stuff. You're talking about a lot of irrelevant stuff.
If he would have stayed on the sidewalk like everybody else, he would be fine. If he would have told them that he was armed, there's a good chance he'd still be alive.
And I see in the comments, who was it? Somebody, Duce said even the NRA don't agree with you. Yeah, I'm telling you.
No, the NRA was bitching about something else. What I'm talking about has nothing to do with what the NRA was fucking talking about.
They claim he shouldn't have brought a gun to a protest. That ain't.
No, I don't agree with that. He's fine to bring the gun to the protest. You can bring a gun to a protest all you want, but you can't act like an asshole when you have a gun. You can't act like an asshole and then use the gun in self-defense.
So when you say it's debatable, let me ask you yourself personally. Do you think he deserved to die?
No, I don't think either of them deserve to die. But they caused...
Do you think it was justifiable? Do you think it was a justifiable shooting?
Yes, it was justifiable.
You think Alex Preddy was justifiable?
Alex Preddy's a little more muddy, but for the most part, yes. It depends. It depends if his gun actually went off, and that was the reason the cop fucking got... It depends what the cop... I gotta talk to that cop and find out, what caused him to shoot. If it was his gun going off, then yes, it was justifiable.
I think...
If something else happened that made him shoot, then I would be not justifiable.
Here's one of the problems. Here's one of the problems I think, because like I said, I think you guys are so gung-ho in trying to defend the ICE officers that you're twisting with the idea that, we're going to say his gun went off accidentally because it's a cheap gun. No, it's possible that the ICE officer, while disarming him, squares the trigger and fired his damn weapon.
We see the gun. We see the gun. The cop's hand was not on the trigger. You can see that his finger was nowhere near the trigger when he was holding it.
Right. You can see. So all the other officers...
You don't watch the videos like I do, and you're trying to debate me when I've seen every video and I slow played every fucking video from every angle. You can see the gun in the cop's hand. His finger is nowhere near the trigger. If it went off, and went off 100% on its own, just from being carried. And that gun.
So do you see anything in those videos that would lead those officers that shot him to indicate that he's reaching for a gun that they absolutely knew he had and where it was located on his body? You see that in the video?
I mean, what do you mean? No, nothing's that absolute. It's not that absolute. So I'll give you that. It's not 100% absolute. There's a little piece missing. I mean, why did that guy think he had a gun? Did he hear the gunshot? Well, why did he fire that first bullet? That's the real question. Why did he fire the first? And I'm surprised we haven't been flagged for all this gun talk. Why did he fire that first one?
Yeah,
That's the question I need answered to finally make up my mind. I don't know if it's because the other guy's gun went off, then he's justified. If it's something else, I gotta tell you then. I can't.
But wait a minute. So you're saying that if you're fighting with the cops and you have a gun and they disarm you, but they cause the gun to go off, the other officers don't seem to have the right to justifiably kill you now.
Well, they don't know you're disarmed. They don't know you're disarmed.
Right.
The second one,
but you didn't do it. But you didn't fire your gun. The cop did it. So it's okay, even though the cop fired your gun, it's okay for you to die?
But, Tim, Alex put himself in that situation. The cops didn't go to him. They didn't go to him. He put himself there.
No, he did. No.
That's the other part that you keep forgetting.
Alex Preddy did.
Anyway, I don't want to spend the whole life talking about that. I want to switch to
you said. I'm just going to tell you, Alex Preddy did not do anything to deserve that whole polyester pile up and getting tased.
He deserved to be arrested. He didn't deserve to be shot.
The idea that you think is debatable is insane. What else you want to talk about? You crazy already?
The whole trans versus Bible thing. There's a huge difference between Bibles and the trans thing. I mean, you could change religion. Like, even if I get brainwashed and becoming a religion I don't like, you could always grow up and change religions. You know, if a kid gets brainwashed into becoming trans and takes hormones or cuts off their dick, you can't grow another dick. You can change religions all day. You can't grow another dick, Tim. So it's not the same.
Well, first of all,
you can undo the damage from the hormones.
First of all, wait, hold on a second. First of all, if you are taught transgender in schools, it's going to be years before you can do what you're talking about, because the law don't allow somebody that young to have surgery to do that. So that's way out in the future. So I don't know why you're bringing that up. No, it's not going to be like a fifth grader.
But again, even if they do it at 18, guess what? Like, I mean, they're cool to do it. I have no problem with people doing that shit when they turn 18. You know, a lot of people grow up and figure out that their religion is bullshit and they change religions or they find God. People change all the time, but it's not, it's not a permanent disfigurement.
I don't know where to go on this conversation. I don't know where to go on this conversation because there's so many trans people that are not post-op. You're talking about what's called post-operation, when they don't. A large portion of the trans community still have their original genitals. So you're talking about a small group of people.
Yeah, but it's still part of it. I mean, that's the reason.
How about this? How about just being against? How about just being against indoctrinating kids in school to begin with? Just be against it, period.
Oh, I'm against it, period. You're right. I mean, but I also grew up in Egypt where we had like Quran hour, and guess what the Christians did during that hour? We studied the Bible. Well, you think these people are going to force fucking Bibles on Muslims?
Yes. You're going to force the children to read out of the Bible.
If Egypt,
we're not in fucking Egypt. That's irrelevant. In America, they're not going to have children in schools reading out the Quran. It's not going to happen.
What do you mean? Muslims can read out the Quran all day?
No, you didn't hear nothing I said. In America, the state government is not going to force kids to read out of the Quran. Only the Bible.
They're not gonna be able to force Muslims to read out of the Bible. You're
responding to shit that I'm not saying. You're not hearing what I'm saying. You're so eager to talk. You're not hearing what I said. You're not hearing what I'm saying. You're just talking on and on. You're not hearing what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the video. So you're telling me the state government is going to force all children to read out of the Quran.
I don't think they're going to force anyone to do anything. And if you're Muslim, read the Quran. And if you're Christian,
That
read
makes
the
no
Bible.
sense. All right. Yeah, that I don't know where you're talking about. You saw the video.
I don't think they're trying to force anyone to do anything. They just want to add a little bit of religion to the textbook. I mean,
a little bit of religion.
It's a slippery line, and I agree with you there. I'd rather be on your side than theirs on this one. But I'm more worried about the left going, like most of MAGA used to be Democrats. So I'm not really worried about MAGA going all right wing.
Most of MAGA used to be Democrats. What are you talking about?
I was a Democrat. Trump was a Democrat. Tulsi Gabbard was a Democrat. RFK was a Democrat. The list of former Democrats are fucking as long as my arms. A lot of us were fucking Democrats, Tim. The fucking, you guys moved the line. And you think some of MAGA is ultra right wing, but there's a lot of us are just centrist or former left wing people, and you just moved the line. So I don't think MAGA is going to be ultra right wing because there's a lot of us in the middle.
I want, just for shits and giggles, I want to play this video again.
Tonight and the new ruling involving the Bible in public schools. That state now mandating teaching the Bible in schools effective immediately, calling it...
That state now mandating teaching the Bible in schools. You're saying the state is going to mandate teaching the Quran in schools?
No, what does that mean? Are they going to force Muslims to read the Bible?
What does it
mean by teaching the Bible?
Do you think they're going to...
As a historical thing where they're not actually teaching the Bible, but talking about the Bible? Those words could mean a lot. You have to, if you want to sit down and read the law word by word and discuss it, then we could have a conversation about it.
What does, okay, wait. If they say mandate teaching, hold on. If they say mandate teaching the Bible in schools, you're telling me you have no clue what that means?
No. Is it talking about Bible and historical figure as a historical thing? Then that's fine. If you want to talk about how the Bible affected the world, sure.
That makes,
in the Bible.
I gotta move it on because that's just word salad. I mean, if they mandate teaching, that's basically saying if they mandate teaching algebra in schools, that's like saying if they mandate teaching algebra in schools, you don't know what that means.
Well, algebra, again, it can mean a lot of things. The history of algebra,
I gotta go. Okay. I gotta go. We'll leave it at Wow. I don't know what it means to mandate teaching algebra in schools. Anyway, tap the screen. Get the likes up to 100,000. We can make that. I have never heard of that before. If they mandate teaching the Bible in schools, it can mean a bunch of different things. I've never heard nothing like that before. Anyway, continuing on. Thank you. I was tired of hearing this bullshit said stick. Thank you, Blue One Banks. I think if somebody mandates teaching science in schools, it's pretty obvious what they're talking about. If you mandate teaching algebra in schools, you know exactly what. You mandate teaching the Bible in schools, I think it's pretty clear as day what they're talking about. I don't know where he was going with it. We never heard anything that comes out of his mouth, says Miss Bobetta. Hey, look, we get interesting guests. He's an interesting guest. For my YouTube viewers, feel free to tap that like button. I need you guys to do that. YouTube is a little challenging today. Tap that like button if you happen to be tuned in on YouTube. It obviously did cause a lethal situation. You're trying to say that, Alex, to me, the Alex Preddy thing is crazy that somebody would say that's debatable. You know why? You heard a gunshot go off, so you just started shooting. I mean, look, you got hundreds of people around. This is a protest. Gunshot could be coming from anywhere. You don't just start firing into somebody who's on there, firing into somebody's back because you heard a gunshot. I don't understand that. To me, if the cops are trying to arrest somebody or something, and you hear somebody yell gun and you don't see a lethal threat, you take cover. You don't just start shooting. Because I do believe that this is what they tell, because he mentioned, my last caller mentioned, having training and how you're supposed to be responsible as a citizen when you have a firearm. And one of the things you're told as a carrier, when I took my training class, they tell you you're responsible for every round that comes out of your firearm. You need to know where those rounds are going and why they're going in that direction. And I'm making this point because Those cops are not looking at any threat when they're shooting. When they are firing those rounds into Alex Preddy, there is no threat they see, which is why he's having to try to somewhat justify it by saying, well, maybe they heard a gunshot or they heard somebody yell something, because they ain't seeing shit. They're not seeing anything that's a lethal threat. So what are you shooting at this guy for? You're not seeing anything. This is what is I forgot the term they call it, kind of like firing out of reflex. You know, one guy's doing it, so you just start doing it too. You didn't verify any threat. You see your partner firing, and you just start doing it as well. So now both of y'all fucking wrong. But I don't. Yeah, when you see the video, Alex Preddy is clearly disarmed before the first shots are fired into him. So the people that are shooting don't see a threat. Bringing up that he brought a firearm and was acting a fool with a firearm doesn't automatically equate to he deserved to be shot. Because once he's disarmed, he's not a threat. The cops have to see a lethal threat to fire a weapon. There is no lethal threat. So I don't understand how that falls in the category of debatable unless you just want to defend bad cops. I'll tell you this, you as a citizen, you wouldn't get away with that. Let's say somebody who was armed gets into a bar fight or something with you, and the guy's fucking with you in your face saying all kinds of shit, and one of the bouncers comes up and they don't put the guy on the ground and they disarm him, and you pull out your gun and start unloading in the guy. You ain't getting away with that. You're not gonna get away. You're gonna go to prison for that shit. So unless we're just giving the cops some kind of leeway and allowing them to have more leeway to kill somebody than the average, because the average citizen, certainly when you think about the amount of rounds they fire, you're not getting away with that as a citizen. You're gonna pay for that. Looking in the comments though, I live in Redondo Beach, California, 3 blocks away from the ocean. Sounds like you live in a good place. Let me go back to the box. We'll make it happen with Mike. Good evening, Mike. Welcome to the program. Elected Democrat mayor. Hey, hang on one second. I want to see this comment. Bama Landscaper says elected mayor of New York raises taxes. Elected Democrat governor in Virginia raises taxes. Elected Democrat president raises taxes. Well, that's how you take care of your citizens. The money got to come. The Republicans are not raising taxes. They're telling people you're not going to have health care. Your schools are going to be fucked up. Good luck driving over our roads. They're lowering your taxes, but all the services in town suck. Mike, Alex Preddy, debatable? What say you?
Listen, Tim, at some point in time, you got to cut this fucking idiot shit off. I mean, at some point in time, it's not even, I mean, come on, Tim. Tim.
I gave the man a chance to speak. I
know. And listen, you wonder why when he's like, I'll debate you, Mike. Me and my inflatable girlfriend will debate you. I don't have no time for that bullshit. Listen, you just told him that Oklahoma is making it mandatory.
Yeah.
Louisiana is also trying to make it mandatory.
So is Texas.
You were asking where was Mike Johnson from? Mike Johnson from Louisiana.
Yeah.
And they got the 10 Commandments is required to be up on a wall in Louisiana right now. What in the holy fuck are they talking about? Listen, the fact that him and Straight Talks can say we don't pay the tariffs, anybody listening from that moment forward, nothing they say has credibility. We know we're paying the tariffs. They've admitted we're paying the tariffs. Tom Bessett has admitted that we're paying the tariffs. Mike Johnson has admitted we're paying the tariffs. The GOP has finally admitted that we're paying the motherfucking tariffs. But here they come going, you guys are so ignorant. If you would just fucking read. Something is wrong with these people, my guy. We have to stay on track.
They said, what did they say? The average American family paid between $1,000 and $1,300 a month because of those tariffs, right?
Yes, 1,700.
1,700, yeah.
1,700.
They have admitted. Well, that was Straight Talk. That wasn't MAGA. That was Straight Talk. That was trying to say.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
He was trying to say.
I know what the dumb shit MAGA react said. And the idea, if something's mandated, if it's mandated to teach, then how do you escape it?
Well, he tried to indicate. Well, I don't quite understand what aspect of the Bible. Are they going to teach it as? He was coming up with some weird ways of trying to spin it. But yeah, if they tell you you got to teach the Bible in schools. You got to teach the Bible in schools. Like, he was trying to make it sound like, well, I'm not quite understanding what part of the Bible or something weird he was trying to say.
It really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if it's mandatory, if they said effective immediately, that's what you played, right?
Yeah.
They said effective immediately means the very next day they're required by law, because mandate law. Any fucking Macri ass stupid man. It's you know it's him.
Yeah, you actually, it actually led. Free My Grandma on YouTube said we should have the option to vote off callers. I thought about doing that, but it would make the program lopsided. You know, some lives do have a way of, you know, you donate a galaxy or something, it'll drop a caller. But obviously, if that happens, you know, Gangsta Grandma, every liberal, every conservative is going to vote Gangsta Grandma out, and people like MAGA Reaction, Straight Talk, all the liberals. I mean, I would not have a fair program from both sides, because they would just be canceling every damn body.
But you know what you should, you know what? Instead of canceling them, let somebody pay a couple of galaxies to come up and debunk them for 2 minutes or a minute.
Now, I like that. I'll entertain that. I'll absolutely do that. If you want to.
If it's that serious, drop a few galaxies and come up and debate, and you got 3 minutes.
I like that. I would do that.
Right?
Yeah, if you. Again, that makes sense. That I can work with that. I don't want to drop MAGA or drop liberals for their point, but if somebody want to come up and give them an earful, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I'm not suggesting drop anybody, but what I am saying is that factually speaking, for example, Alex Preddy.
MAGA React said, I'll do that now. Let's go.
Man, please, you're gonna be wasting your money, because there's nothing you can say to keep up when I'm about to
All
say.
right, 5 minutes for a galaxy. I'm okay with that. I don't want to censor anybody, but 5 minutes for a galaxy to debate a guest, I'm okay with that totally.
Let me give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. When he was talking about the pew pew going off, right, with Alex Preddy. Number one, he never touched it. He never physically touched it.
True.
So if any officer touched it, I don't care if it went off because of a prayer, because they pulled it. They are liable because they initiated said action. After that, it's on them. It ain't on him.
Yeah.
How can it possibly be on him that they took it? And first of all, this is where MAGA Reacts is lying. They didn't yell pew pew until after the agent had the pew pew. After, if you notice, when he was walking, as soon as he walked away, and the officer that did first pew pew first already had his weapon pulled out. So that's a lie, right? So, but we all saw it. But see, here's the problem. They want to debate things because the minute they start conceding to one thing, it's a domino effect. Because if that's wrong, then the other action that Trump may have had or his administration may have clearly is wrong. They can't concede to anything.
The issue is, this is where MAGA favors it. President Trump sent goons to Minnesota. I say this all the time. He sent law enforcement to Memphis. He sent law enforcement to New Orleans, because he sent ICE to those states too. But they're favorable to the government in Louisiana and in Tennessee because they got Republican governors. He don't like Tim Walz. They sent goons to Minnesota, and that's exactly why. Because people say all the time, well, why is there so many problems in Minnesota when ICE is everywhere else as well? Because it's how they're acting in Minnesota. And that's exactly what you heard Tom Homan say when he replaced Bovino, is that we're no longer going to engage protesters. We're going to de-escalate situations. He was admitting that we've been escalating shit. He was admitting it.
Absolutely. And let's be clear. There are other states that have other incidences of ICE unaliving or pew-pewing somebody that just hasn't made the normal news cycle. And that's factual. It's happened in Texas and it's happened in Arizona. So, And we know this because if you go and you Google what I said, it'll pop up, right? One 15, 17-year-old Hispanic kid was pew-pewed in Arizona.
Well, after seeing Christy Nome say that Alex Preddy and Nicole Good was a domestic terrorist, here you can't, and that's why I don't like that they have made it so only they can investigate what happens to people. Well, after you got her saying that, you can't believe anything they say because you're watching that. Alex Preddy was not acting in a manner that's commiserate to being a terrorist. Like, where the fuck is that language coming from?
Well, and Tim, that's what I'm saying. I mean, we act like they had all this smoke for Joe Biden and Hunter Biden and all the Biden and the crime family, and they're saying absolutely shit
All right,
about
you
the fact that
okay?
Trump
Well,
is a risk himself.
let me interrupt you and ask. Let me interrupt and ask. Are you ready for this 5 minutes?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
You know what? I'm gonna. Oh, is he trying to come up?
He's already done the procedure.
It's not even going to take 5 minutes, Tim. And by the way, and check this out. You can bring him up. And the funny thing about it, before you say a word about the school district, MAGA Reacts, I want to give you a fair warning. Right now, I'm at my establishment hosting my school district with my mayor, city council, and the chief of police. So if this is a conversation, if you think I'm playing, I will turn my camera on. I'm not playing. So again, these aren't conversations that I think you're ready to have. What's up? I'm just saying, but do it. Let's go.
Is your school district in Texas or Oklahoma?
Say again?
Is your school district in Texas or Oklahoma?
It doesn't make a difference.
Well, we're talking about Oklahoma law, and I don't know what the law says. I would like to go over the law. If you think it says what Tim says it says, show it to me. You got the receipts. Where's the law?
Hold on, my guy. Well, are we going to talk over each other? So what are you asking me for?
Honestly, I came up here. I really want to talk tariffs, but I'll debate fucking. Well, I don't really want to debate the school thing. I want to talk about tariffs.
Let's go to tariffs. You go. You start. Go.
Okay. As far as the tariffs, yes, the consumer pays it, but we pay everything. Any expense we pay. Corporate taxes, what Harris wanted, it'd be the same as tariffs. What's the difference between a tariff and a fucking corporate tax? You could tax me with every way you like. You could tax me with gas. You could tax me with a state tax. You could tax me with a sales tax. The consumer's paying it. So by your logic, the consumer pays everything. So yeah, Trump is charging tariffs, but he made corporate taxes cheaper. He made fucking gas cheaper. He made everything else cheaper. That's why inflation is only at 2.4.
So what is your argument? So you're conceding that tariffs are an additional tax?
With your logic, if you say consumers pay tariffs, then they pay all the other taxes that Democrats want to raise. No. This isn't about
Democrats.
Regulations, you put a regulation on me and I have to hire someone to take care of it.
MAGA Reacts, you pay 5 minutes. Let's make your 5 minutes as efficient as possible.
Go ahead.
This has nothing to do with Democrats. This is about Trump and his Liberation Day tariffs. Tariffs are an additional tax on the American people. Yes?
It's an expense like anything else, but yes.
No, I didn't say expense. A tax.
But if you're gonna say
taxes and expenses are separate.
They pay everything else too. They pay every expense of purchase of a product.
MAGA Reacts, make your time count. Taxes are not expenses.
Look, in the end, inflation
Wait, MAGA, you seem to be hesitant. He's asking you, is it a tax? Is that yes or no? Is it a tax?
But it's also like an expense.
It's an additional.
No,
it's not an expense
that the consumer pays. The consumer pays every part of my expense.
Listen, bestiality is not going to make you win.
Who pays your taxes?
Listen, this isn't going to make you win. Hold on. If
tariffs are trying to make it about the consumer, it's not about the consumer. It's about inflation. Inflation didn't go up.
MAGA Reacts. See, you're already losing. Tariffs are an additional tax.
I'm not losing. You're trying to lose the game.
No, I'm not. Listen, you got to walk through this.
Go ahead. I'm going to stop.
Tariffs are an additional tax to what you're already paying. It is not an expense, number one. Number two, this was a self-induced additional tax that he put on the American people illegally. That's not my opinion. That's what the Supreme Court just ruled. Yes or no?
I mean, no. What the Supreme Court they ruled was he can't do it up to 150%.
What they ruled, that's not true. That's not MAGA Reacts. They ruled that the way he implemented the taxes was illegal.
Yeah, but he still has some other ways.
Okay, hold on. But that's not what I asked you, though. That's not what I asked you. MAGA Reacts. MAGA Reacts. You paid to come up here for this. Was it ruled
because you're changing the subject. I'm trying to talk about if consumers pay the tariffs.
No. I'm literally saying the Supreme Court ruled that they were illegal.
Yes, the way he did the first time.
Okay,
yes.
perfect.
But that's not what we're debating.
Okay, perfect. And yesterday you said that it was capped at 50%, and I told you on this line it was capped at 15%, right? And I said that yesterday.
You were right about that. There was another
I was right about that yesterday. Okay, perfect. Now, right now, what he ruled was 150 days for what he just did, and he admitted he should have done it this way at the beginning. Yes or no?
Yeah, and there's like a third
Okay,
way
perfect.
you would have done it too. That's
Okay,
up to
perfect.
50%.
Cool. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about where we are today. Now, I'm going to simply ask you one more question. The fact that it was done illegally, the Supreme Court ruled that. Now the lower courts will rule that he has to return said illegally gotten funds.
Well, the Supreme Court hasn't ruled on that yet.
I know they haven't, but they don't have a choice.
Yeah,
right?
do they? Yeah, what are you expecting them to say? You got the money illegally. You got to give it back. What do you expect the Supreme Court to say? Well, you can keep the money.
We'll find out. I don't like to predict the future like you guys
How?
do. I don't know
Why would you need? Wait. If you receive money in an illegal way, why would you assume they're going to rule that he can keep it?
He had other legal ways to do it. He got 3 legal ways, and it was only ruled illegal a week ago. It wasn't ruled illegal from the beginning.
No, that's not true. That's not true. The lower federal courts ruled it illegal. Trump's administration appealed it. It went to the appellate court. Hold on. It went to the appellate court. They upheld the original ruling. They went up to the Supreme Court. The entire time, the judges have been ruling that it was illegal. They kept appealing and extending the time where he was collecting said tariffs. Once the Supreme Court said, we agree with the appellate court and the lower federal courts, their ruling is final. Hold on, let me finish.
They're good or bad?
Let me finish.
Because you're wasting time on whether it's legal or illegal. That's not what I come up here to debate you about.
Again, my point is this. We paid an additional tax illegally. Now it has to come back to the people that paid it.
Okay, MAGA, make your point. What does
it matter about whether the tariffs are good or not? I want the tariffs to continue because I'd rather tax things coming from other places and not tax American things. When you raise the corporate tax, when you have high oil prices and high fuel prices, Americans are paying that tax. When you do tariffs, only the portion that comes from overseas is taxed, which I'd rather do that.
That's not true.
I'd rather have...
That's not true either.
It's an import tax.
I want you to Google. Listen, MAGA Reacts.
So all the American shit
MAGA Reacts. MAGA Reacts, I'm going to save you 2 minutes. Maybe you can use it next time you come up. Google the report that showed that 90% of taxes, tariffs were paid by the consumers. Google that.
Again, I just told you everything is paid by the consumer.
Okay, I'm going to have to move it. I'm going to have to move it along.
When my employees get sick, they pay that. My consumer pay everything. Aww. They pay tariffs. They pay corporate taxes. They pay my tolls. They pay all my bills.
Yeah.
So MAGA, I'll just say this. MAGA, I'll just say this. I would advise you to check. I would advise you to check with anybody in the financial industry about who pays tariffs. I mean, they're saying it all over TV, all over financial programs.
I'm agreeing with them. I'm just saying that's bullshit because we pay every expense. If whoever buys my shit has to pay the tariff.
This is your guy.
Has to pay my gas. Okay. Has to pay my electric.
I'm gonna tell you this before Tim drops me down because I got some dignitaries to get to.
Okay, I'll give you whoever want to go first. Hold on, whoever wants to go first, I'll give you a minute. I'll give the other guy a minute to rebut, and that's got to be it. Who wants to go first?
You can go.
Consumer tax is a bullshit argument, like most of your arguments. They're full of bullshit, and they're all bullshit because every expense in a business is paid by the consumer. Who else are you going to get the money from? The government? That's bullshit. The consumer pays everything. They pay the tariff. They pay my gas. They pay when my employee's sick. They pay every fucking bill, including the tariff, including corporate taxes, including whatever Harris and Mondani and all these other losers want to increase. So by your argument, the consumer pays everything. So so your argument is bullshit. It doesn't matter that the consumer pays it. The important part is inflation, and Trump has kept inflation low. That means his tariffs have not raised prices because inflation is at 2.4%. Any inflation under 3% is good, so the tariffs are good.
All right. MAGA, thank you. All right, now your rebut, Mike, go.
My rebut is this. He said a bunch of nothing because that is not what my argument was. He wanted to talk about tariffs. We talked about tariffs. I literally walked him through what the Supreme Court said, what a tariff actually is. It's an additional tax on the American people that was done illegally. That's not my opinion. That's what the Supreme Court has ruled. Now, if you want to argue whether the consumers pay all these things that he was ranting on, that wasn't my argument to begin with. I was trying to save him some money by saving him a couple of extra minutes so he can use that shit as a later date. But Tim, I want you to keep that extra galaxy as a tariff on his non-ring ass. So when he challenges, now I've been telling you, Tim, he's not prepared to debate me. Haven't I been telling you that? Now I've got 50 people in my restaurant. I slid back to the office to make time to cook his ass like I just finished cooking for these dignitaries that I'm about to go out there and talk to about our school district, our city council, how we're handling
Oh, God.
That's what I'm about to do. So at the end of the day, when they want to come up and put these galaxies on, the best thing for them to do is catch me when I'm busy like I am right now, because
all right, Mike,
my laptop, I would have smoked him 30 seconds into it. I appreciate your time. Tap the screen, share the live, get him up to 150,000, and I'll holler at you.
Good talk, Mike. Thank you very much. Moving on with the program, Damon Lewis says, my home gas bill has doubled under Trump in Atlanta. Wow. But do you think that's all Trump's fault? I don't know what's going on the ground in Fulton County. Doubled? Wow. Is the president responsible for that? Why would your home gas bill double under Trump? And thank you, Kirk Steinmetz. Appreciate the support. Looking in the comments, what did somebody say? MAGA reacts and still got fatality. Oh, that's a Mortal Kombat reference there. Looking in the comments, yo, I'm gonna need my glasses for this particular screen. Yeah, okay, I don't even know what that even says. Taxing the billionaires are not working, so he raised it in the rest of the city and died in the retirement fund. Mamdani is doing good. Here's something I don't get. There are cities where Republicans live. There are cities where liberals live. You notice you only hear Republicans talking about liberal. The Democrats don't be talking about Republican areas that much. All these folks that don't live in New York, don't even visit New York, talking about Mamdani. Then just don't go there. Then just avoid New York. I mean, you hear the right talking about California all the damn time. I mean, are the red states being ran that well? Because they're always, I don't understand why you're always criticizing the liberal areas. I mean, when you go to red states, do they look like just a bastion of success? Schools are doing well. The roads are all paved. You know, the children are all healthy. And I mean, I don't know why the right is always chastising liberal areas like that. I mean, I don't see where the right is. The right-wing areas are all that successful either, but it's amazing how much they do that. They talk about Seattle, and it's perfectly fine out there. Chicago comes up all the time. New York and California obviously comes up all the time. You don't see liberals talking about what's going on in Oklahoma City. I mean, you don't see the liberals doing that. I don't know why they're always criticizing it like that. Red State Kentucky checking in. It's bad here. Jesus, wow. What is the guy name? Is that where Bashir is at? Don't you have a liberal governor in Kentucky? Let me go back to the box. We'll continue on with Stick, the ruler. Good evening, Stick. Welcome to the program.
Hey, what's going on, Tim? Hey, thank you. Michael, if you're still listening, brother, I appreciate you. You did your damn thing. God damn, I loved it, Tim. Hey, that's what needs to happen to Trump. That right there is what needs to happen to Trump.
What are you suggesting? What happened? What are you talking about?
Just put him in a room with Jasmine Crockett and let him loose.
he would cuss Jasmine Crockett out. I mean, I don't know about that. Listen.
Trump would be scattered a little bit. He probably shit himself, just like he already have on TV and told all them kids they gotta go clear the room. Because he was clearing the room either way. You was either gonna smell that shit and get gone, or you was gonna clear the room when they were telling you.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Trump likes to project strength. I don't think if you let him and Jasmine Crockett debate, I don't think Jasmine would wear him out. I think he would be calling all kinds of names. I don't know.
No, you know what? I can't stand you. You just one of those people. That's the only thing he can say. He ain't got nothing that he could say.
No, I don't think if they debate. No, if they debated on the
got more wind.
Yeah.
No, he eats McDonald's too much. He ain't gonna be able to keep up with her.
Well, if they had an actual debate on how they traditionally go, I think Jasmine Crockett would beat him. But that's not how Trump debates. He gonna be criticizing or calling their names and all kinds of shit, and that's where he does very well. He's been very successful with insults.
He would do worse than Marjorie Taylor Greene. Stop it.
I don't think so.
He ain't on his toes like that. Trust me. He's demented. He don't know. Excuse me. I'm not a doctor. TikTok, excuse me. But we all see what we see. I'm like that right there, Tim, was classic though. I appreciate you letting Mike, let MAGA react.
Well, he asked for it.
With that idea.
And by the way, he's in the comments and he says that Trump is 80. Trump is not 84, but he says he's 84. She's 34. Trump is like 80. He's not 84, but he's saying that there's a big age difference between Trump and Jasmine Crockett. I don't know what the relevance of that is. A debate is a debate.
No. He's a man. She's a woman. Fuck it. No, you missed a big shot. You tough. Get your ass in the ring and shut the fuck up. Box. Do it. Let's see it. I guarantee you, Jasmine Crockett hit his ass one time, and them cankles gonna buckle.
You want Trump and Jasmine Crockett to have an actual fist fight?
Hey, listen. I want anything that can harm Trump to happen.
What?
I hope a burger get him before that happens.
Why would you say that?
And I'm not. I'm listen. I'm where I'm at right now. I'm getting my inner gangster grandma out. I can't stand this man, right? So from the time that he started running, I really couldn't stand him. But at this point, with the racism and the shit talking, and he getting up there telling the Supreme Court he don't like them and this, that, man.
Hold on. Look, you lean left, he leans right. I understand you're not liking it, but you're wishing harm on the president. Is that what I'm hearing?
Man, listen, I wish everything bad, evil, unlucky, foul.
Come on, Stick. You don't mean that.
Malice,
Stick.
Any and everything. I hope tonight a butterfly comes and actually stings them or something. And butterflies don't sting. But I hope the worst.
Stick.
I don't care for him. Yes. Listen. He got up there and told the world he hate me. He got up there and said, I hate Democrats. I'm a Democrat. He told the world he hate me. So I'm telling every listener in here, I hate him back. I got the right to be just like Trump. And that's where we're headed. That's why everybody likes Gavin Newsom. That's why everybody likes Jasmine Crockett. He want to bring that shit, prepare to have a heart attack, my boy.
Oh my God. How do you respond to Gunner Experience says, this is the party of love and tolerance. LOL. He's talking about you showing absolutely no tolerance with what you're wishing on the president.
Why do I have to be the real Christian at this moment and let him talk bad about me, tell me he hate me, and I got to sit there and take it and let him slide off? No, check this. If he was a regular citizen, old as he is, and he was standing in front of me and he disrespected me, understand, I might do something to him that the average wouldn't do because he's an old, racist white man. I don't care for you because you don't care for me. I'm not finna scratch your back while you try to kick me in mine. Get your ass gone. I hope God take him out and I ain't got to do nothing. But I swear, man, this dude, he needs to go.
How do you respond to folks who say
about impeachment? I can give a damn about impeachment. He needs to fucking go.
How do you respond to folks who suggest you got hate in your heart, Stick?
I don't have hate in my heart. I have a reaction to something that he said.
What is
he? He ain't never heard me. Listen, he ain't never heard me say I hate him. But I heard him say he hates me. Fuck him, Tim.
But you're wishing harm on him. He didn't say he wished harm on you.
Listen, I'm not wishing nothing but the day he should have. He's a terrible person. I'm not wishing no good on him. I'm not giving him nothing for no accomplishments. And I used to be a fair person. I used to be like, he did come up with what was the thing with the vid shot? Warp speed. He did come up with warp speed. I would try to give him something. But now You didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize. You mad at Barack Obama. You keep bringing up Joe Biden. This shit is still fucked up. The wars are still going on. Food prices are high. Black employment, definitely, because I'm a black man, is fucking high as hell. Stop it. The black folks that got fired during the federal. Stop it. Fucking Tim.
Okay, I get
I
that.
gotta kiss his ass, man. Fuck him.
I get you don't like the way he's leading the country, but to wish physical harm on the commander-in-chief stake, you really want to rethink that? That's bad.
He deserves. I'm wishing the day that he deserves. The Lord, listen, I know I'm not the Lord, but what I read in the Bible, right? When it's time for the just due, it comes. Because vengeance is mine, says the Lord. Now, just because I know that vengeance is coming and I'm speaking it out my mouth, don't mean I'm a hateful person. Because remember, the Bible is love. And in the Bible it says, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. So I'm going to let the Lord have his vengeance. But if I get the chance to be one of God's angels that gets to help him out, I volunteer.
What has he done to you specifically that's affected your life for you to have this bad of an opinion and wish this much harm to the president?
I want him to shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. That's it.
So he's talking so much you want him silenced.
Listen, Tim. You know we are men, right?
Okay.
And you grew up in Chicago, so
yes.
You know the worst of the worst when men go at it can happen, right? Just being honest. Ladies, I'm sorry. I'm being honest. Men have fucked up this world since the beginning of time. This country has been led by white men since its conception. They fucked it up. We are here because of white men. We had one black president. He did not do all this fucking damage.
I mean, Joe Biden was a white man. Did you wish this on Joe Biden?
Listen, Joe Biden was the white man that we needed, just like we need the white man Gavin Newsom. We agreed on this the other day, that Gavin Newsom, because of his looks, right, and he's willing to be just as petty as Trump. This is a big thing right now. Now, after he gets elected, he may just become presidential and all of this other stuff like Barack Obama or Clinton not Clinton. But anyway, Barack Obama at least. Let's just go with that one president.
You're not going to get anybody back that's equivalent to Obama for the left.
Well, no, I ain't talking about for the left. I'm talking about for the white left.
Oh.
And then on top of that, some of the right, because he's the white skin and the right skin, they will go with that because again, they're still in charge. They gonna feel.
How do you explain when you say Gavin Newsom? How do you explain California to the rest of the country? A lot of folks believe California under Gavin Newsom's watch is not being ran very well.
Under California's watch is being ran very well. That's why they voted in to do the redistricting. That's why they understood the assignment that we can't let Texas do what they do. And then that shit that they did backfired. So again, it's one of those things where Gavin Newsom, he said, oh, that's what you want to do? I'm going to be petty too, but I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to give it up to the voters and let them decide. And guess what they did? They decided and didn't it pass?
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, that still doesn't mean California's being ran very well in terms of taxes and the cost of living and things like that. The homeless in California is off the chain. I mean, they don't like Trump. I understand why they voted for the redistricting, but in terms of how their state is being ran.
How long has Gavin Newsom been in office?
That I don't know.
Okay, so let me tell you, he ain't been in there long enough to cause all of this what you talking about.
But is it improving under his watch? Is it improving under his watch?
It depends on who you ask. If you ask somebody from Alabama that they ain't never been to California, they're gonna say, "Oh, California's horrible. It's terrible.
Right.
This, that, there, and the third." But then if you ask somebody from California, they got pride. They love their governor. Hey, we got TikTok creators on here that's out there in California that love their governor. Rainey's one of them. So yeah, that like don't nobody want to hear that.
Well, I got young Bryce in the comments says I live in California, and he's even got the California flag. He says he's been there since 2018 in terms of Gavin Newsom. Young Bryce, how do you favor your state? You think your state's being run very well under Gavin Newsom? Newsom gave Newsom gave me free college and free health care. So I guess he does like I think he does like Newsom.
They got the Medi-Cal, something like that. I think it is. Yeah, my dad is from Compton, right? Mm-hmm. I got an uncle. He lives in like Northern Cali. Yeah, Northern Cali, right? I ain't gonna dox him like that. But anyway, so I got family out there, and I'm from Louisville. I'm from Kentucky. I'm from a red state.
Right.
And Kentucky ain't ran great. Louisville ain't ran great.
Well, but see, that's the thing. That's the thing. The right only criticizes left-wing areas. They don't brag about how well their areas are ran. I mean, you don't hear the right saying, "Hey, West Virginia's doing really good." They don't say nothing like that.
Yeah, and that's the sad part. You know, they paint the picture of look over there. It reminds me of the movie Don't Look Up. You ever seen that movie?
Don't Look Up, no.
Yeah. Okay,
wait, is that like a 80s movie? No, I'm thinking about The Gods Must Be Crazy. Never mind. I'm thinking about The Gods Must Be Crazy. I haven't seen it.
No, this in this movie, there's a meteor coming, right? And Leonardo DiCaprio, I believe it was,
it's
found out that it's coming. So the people like this administration, just imagine this administration on this movie. One of the leaders in the administration is like, look, we just gonna go out there, we're gonna tell the people, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing. They just trying to. It's the Democrats, you know. They trying to tell us whatever. Just don't look up. Just don't look up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They lying to you. Just don't look up. So the whole time they telling people don't look up, they building an aircraft to leave the Earth.
So they gonna lead them behind to perish, basically.
And the whole time the people like, yeah, don't look up, don't look up. And then they look up and then they see a goddamn meteor about to hit their damn head. You see, and that's who we got in office. So don't look up.
So you think Trump is pretty much leaving us to be destroyed?
Listen, he told you I can destroy a country, but I can't take a dime.
Well, let me ask you this though. But let me ask you this though, Stick, because you obviously have a very strong, passionate, anti-Trump opinion. But why do you think there's so many folks that identify as MAGA, even Black MAGA, that see it exactly opposite of you? There's a lot of Black MAGA that think Trump is doing a phenomenal job. You heard MAGA reacts B-. He thinks Trump could possibly get an A+.
You know how when the dog be in the house and they see their owner coming up the walkway, they all in the window and shit. That's blagging. That's blagging. What you want me to do? You want me to go fetch it? You want me to any MAGA talking point? They up there, and they also willing to call you out your name, call you a baboon or a gorilla, or, you know, they willing to go all out for massa. So I mean, at that point, I just choose not to be around them dudes. I just choose to like stay in my lane because again, we're men, and when men go back and forth, it ends up being physical. But they're little people in my phone. I can't get to them, so I'm not going to stress myself out.
Let me ask you this way. Let's say, for instance, one of your boys, you know, you've been tight with him for a minute, and he comes out and admits, man, look, I voted for Trump. I think he's doing the right thing by the country. I would vote for the motherfucker again. Would that affect your relationship with your friend if he came out and told you he thinks Trump is doing a good job?
Being honest, that friend would have to live in North Carolina, and that friend would have to be named Dre, because that's a real dude that you're describing right now. And all we got, I'm just being real, I worked with his cousin because his cousin has his own business. He used to be a baseball player for the Detroit Tigers. Long story short, we're playing the game. We're on Call of Duty, and all the whole time we never talk politics ever. And I said something in a joking manner about Trump. I don't remember what it was. When you talk about my president, so I thought he was trolling me at first.
He started defending Trump.
Then once I realized he was a MAGA reacts.
Was he African American?
Yes, he is, but he's a MAGA reacts. None of the shit that he says makes sense. Like, he don't know about tariffs. He don't know about really anything. All he know is that Trump did something for federal inmates.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. One of the unique benefits of President Trump that he has, unlike Obama or Biden or Bush or any other president, is all he has to do is actually tout an accomplishment. And for MAGA, that actually happened. Like when he says the economy is the best it's ever been in U.S. history, a lot of MAGA believes that. So he has the benefit of being able to say stuff and get credit from MAGA for it without having to prove it actually happened or it's actually a genuine truth. So Obama didn't even have that with the liberals.
No. Yeah, he didn't. You know why? Because we don't have really, especially now that he's gone, we really don't have a leader. So we're not a cult. We don't have a master, so we're not on a plantation. The problem that they have is they have everything that Trump has. Distant cognitive abilities to just make shit appear, like take a Sharpie and draw a goddamn tornado away or some shit. Like make the storm go the wrong way. Like they still believe in Christmas and shit that don't exist. They still believe in St. Patrick's Day. They still believe in Valentine's Day. Hell, somebody gonna come and shoot your ass with a little arrow, and you just gonna go out and buy shit. Come on.
Well, the man is winning, so MAGA is happy. I gotta move it on, but he's winning. Real quick, go ahead.
He's winning by losing in the Supreme Court. He's winning by going up there, getting mad, saying, I can destroy a country, but I just can't collect a dime off of it. He's winning. That's winning.
He's been winning most of the time. He's been winning most of the time.
Gangsta grandma get back up there and get on your ass for that one. Bye, Tim.
Stick, pleasure talking to you. Appreciate it. All right, moving on with the program. Tap the screen. Get us on up to 135. We can make that happen. Somebody said the Easter Bunny. C. Osby. Trump signed the First Step Act. Is a 2018 bipartisan federal law aimed at reducing recidivism, reforming federal sentencing laws, and improving prison conditions. Look, there was a lot, I won't say a lot, but there were certainly things that President Trump did during his first term that could push against the argument that he's done nothing for black people. The HBCU thing came up all the time. The problem is his second term, there is nothing. In fact, anytime the whole what did he do for blacks or, how the hell could you ever call Trump a racist argument comes up, all of the defense for Trump is stuff he did in his first term. There is nothing coming out that's second term related because there is nothing there. There is nothing there. So, like I said, the first term, there are some things you could actually throw out there to defend Trump with in terms of people saying he didn't do nothing for black people. There's nothing in the second term. Unless somebody can let me know, I haven't heard anything, which is why you keep still hearing HBCUs and all that stuff from his first term. There's just nothing there. And in fact, my opinion, the way he's, treated MLK Day and Juneteenth and obviously the claim that it's okay to put the Obamas as apes as long as you do it to Biden, and it's just a joke. All of that type of stuff, to sombrero and Hakeem. My opinion is that Trump's second term has been anti-black. It's been anti-black. I mean, the notion that Charlie Kirk hangs out in the hood, riding around in hoopties, listening to rap music or something. Charlie Kirk loves black people. I don't see it. I wish I did because I'm willing to defend Trump where he deserves to be defended. But my opinion, his second term, whether or not they're eating cats and dogs or the Somalis are garbage, but the white South Afrikaners deserve to be brought here because they're facing oppression and what did he say, a genocide in South Africa. It's been anti-black. He's even talked about if you're white and you feel like you're a victim of discrimination, you can sue. I mean, it's really just been kind of out in the open on the second term. But there were things to defend Trump with on the first term. I don't see it on the second term. If it comes out, I'll defend him if I see it. I defend him on the border. I defend him on other. I don't see it though. I really don't. Great comment section. Not toxic or misinformed at all. Says, well, first of all, we do believe in free speech. So our comment section is not censored. We don't block, ban, or censor anybody. In fact, I don't have a moderator. We believe in letting the people speak. So it is what it is. We say we're all on every program. We're MAGA friendly because we allow MAGA to speak as well. A lot of folks believe, a program with left wingers on it, we ain't gonna be able to talk. They're gonna censor us, cancel us. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. What do we say? Our comments go left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having dinner with Q. Bama Landscape. Appreciate that, Bama. Thank you very much for the TikTok caps. Shout out to you, brother. Appreciate that. Bama Landscaper. Looking in the comments here. Coffee outside of the, what does that say? I'm not going to be able to see that. Coffee outside of the bills. Coffee outside of the bills in which you have, very fucking smart human you are. Okay, don't know what that means. All disproportionate political porn. How about how Elon begged to go to the island? Look, when it comes to the Epstein stuff, because so much of it is redacted, we don't know who did what. To me, the only thing I can say for certain when it comes to Epstein is that President Trump don't want you to know what's in there. I think that part is fairly evident. Even a lot of MAGA will say, he didn't do anything wrong, or they'll bring up the sheriff that testified on his behalf in 2006, but they will admit maybe he got free. He's protecting somebody. Even if you think he didn't do anything wrong, it's pretty clear he don't want you to know the full scope of what's in there. I mean, so that's something I know for certain. I'm not going to say the guy has done anything wrong or whatever. I'm going to say his actions does not look like he intends to give the victims justice or even wants to give the victims justice. To me, that's apparent. That's pretty clear, is that Trump does not want that to happen. Boycott the live fast tomorrow night. Oh, boycott the Life Fest. You said the State of the Union address is going to be a Life Fest. How many you guys are going to watch that, right? I asked in the beginning of the show, yes or no in the comments, and a lot of folks said they were not going to watch the State of the Union address. And I see in the comments somebody, Gino says he's afraid. Yeah, look, if I don't know if Trump did anything in regards to the Epstein list, but if I had to guess, look, if somebody put a pew-pew to my head and said, you guessed the wrong answer, today's your last day, I'm going to guess that he's done some bad things to kids. Just from his actions. And I don't care if it was my dad, may he rest in peace. If my dad was acting like President Trump is in regards to the Epstein list, I would be like, is there something you need to tell me? Look, I understand, but, people make mistakes, but this ain't looking good. What, did you do something? I mean, the way he is acting does not look like somebody that's innocent. We can bring up a 2006 sheriff or whatever the case may be, but, I mean, Pam Bondi gets up there and the victims are right behind her, making it clear they've been reaching out to the Justice Department and the Justice Department has been ignoring them. Have you heard Trump say anything about the victims at all? Anything whatsoever? So no, I don't see Trump as somebody that's acting like a totally innocent guy. Will it come out that he did something wrong? Maybe, maybe not. But I absolutely did not see his actions indicating that he ain't got nothing to hide. I would look at Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. At least they did say, you can ask us whatever you want to ask us, but you got to do it publicly. Trump ain't doing nothing like that. So his actions don't look good. His actions don't convict him of committing a crime, but his actions does not look good. I hear enough bullshit during the day to watch that. Pork roast was $67 up, $67 up here last week. They were like $17 a few months ago. Pork roast went up $50. Really? I don't know about that's ridiculous. But yeah, like I said, his actions do not indicate an innocent man. Why is he doing that? I don't know, but look, at some point you got to take what's coming to the way you're acting. I mean, like I said, he's not acting like an innocent man. Takesha boy. Good evening, Takesha. My medication's doubled. Yikes. Takesha, good evening.
How you doing?
I don't even know right now. I mean, listen. Are you gonna watch the State of the Union address tomorrow?
Absolutely the fuck not.
Why would you not watch the president address the nation?
I already know what state the union in. When I go to the grocery store, I know what state it's in. When I go to pay my bills, I know what state it's in. When I go get gas, I know what state it is. I don't need nobody on stage telling a bunch of lies about how good the economy is and how inflation at 2.4%, which I don't believe no numbers that come about that administration. If I believe anything they said when it comes to numbers, when they fired the folk that were telling the truth and now all of a sudden everything looking good, but our pockets and everything that come in our household, baby, no. I can't stand to sit up and listen to liars. So no, I will not be watching.
So you're suggesting that nothing Trump says is fact? I mean,
nothing.
Oh, come on now. Everything is a lie.
Everything. Everything.
Well, shit, yeah. I guess if I believe that, I wouldn't watch it either. I'm going to watch it. I mean, what about...
Tim, we ain't surprised that you going to watch it. Let's be for real. Come on, Tim. We know you going to watch it if don't nobody else watch it.
What are you trying to say?
Tim, you love him. Just admit it, you love him.
I didn't say that.
Tim, you love it. Tim, it's the adoration. It's the look in your eye when you talk about it. You try to make Trump right. You try to take up for Trump more than you probably take up for your children. You love him, Tim.
That is...
Yes, you love Donald Trump.
You're making me sound like Officer Tatum. I'm not... Look, that is...
Donald Trump, you probably got that playing in your head at night when you go to sleep.
You are mean. You are really mean. You're hurting my feelings.
Let me help stick the rule out. Stick this who Blacker is. You know them black... You know, this is Blacker right here. Not you, Tim.
Oh.
I'm finna tell you who Blacker is.
Okay.
Blacker is that slave that got to wear master suit and drive him around town and think he was better than the other slaves. And at the same time, master would still call him a boy in the end. Guess who Blacker is? Oh. They live in a world of delusion.
Oh, and I see in the comments somebody says Tim has to watch it just for his content. I actually believe Tim knows Trump is BS. Look, I know the guy's not always honest.
I used to think that too, sweetie, but something ain't right. Something happened.
You're hurt, baby. You hurting me. You're
not right. Tim, listen. Did you hear Trump when he was talking, when he was doing that speech last week when he got mad at the Supreme Court? And he said that last week they had bailed out the farmers. And I was wondering, did we bail the farmers out last week?
Not last week, but he did at the bill.
That's what he said, Tim.
Yeah, that didn't happen. Speaking of which, go ahead.
He also said the 2024 election has so much fraud. I said, tell it, Trump. You know
something. I had that same debate with a lot of MAGA. That never made sense. Is that we believe the 2020 election is stolen. So it's like the election that happened while Trump was in power was not held properly, but okay, he win the election after Obama's in office, and he wins the 2016 election. So the Democrats are in power, and you're able to win in 2016. You're in power, and somehow the Democrats can steal the election from you in 2020 when the Republicans are in power. All of a sudden, Biden's in power, and somehow you're able to win again when so the only time the election is stolen is when you're over it. That doesn't make any sense, and they don't see that.
and you won, and you lost and won when the border was wide open. Let you tell it, Tim.
Yeah.
The border wide open, you lost, and then the border still wide open and you won. Come on, Trump, let's make it all make sense.
Now, yeah, some of that doesn't. But speaking of what you talked about the Supreme Court, I want you to hear this. This is an older clip of Trump, but kind of falls in line with what you were talking about.
Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing.
Actually, that's not it. It's an older clip. I think this one is it here.
The radical left harasses our judges and harasses our justices. They scream at them, they call them names, they say they're incompetent, they're horrible, they're this, they're that, they should be impeached. They're constantly saying they should be impeached, but they're screaming. And you know what? It has an effect on some people, but so far, they've been very strong. It's really horrible. I believe it's illegal what they do.
That's him suggesting that the radical left criticizes judges and name calls them, and they should be illegal.
Tim. All you gotta do is go against Trump, and you the enemy.
Yeah.
He talked about that Supreme Court so bad the other day till I felt sorry for him.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how many statements he's made in the past that he is the person he was talking. Because I got a clip of him saying that, you know, Obama is going to attack Iran because he doesn't know how to negotiate and he's only doing it to get reelected. He says a lot of things in the past that he now is literally the person he was talking about.
He's a hypocrite. Tim, let me tell you something. I keep telling you, and I know you're not a man of faith, but the Bible says everything you sow, you're going to reap. The Lord ain't doing nothing but pulling the cover off for Trump, for all the lies and stuff he tell. He's a modern-day Pharisee hypocrite. And one thing I do know, we don't need Pam Bundy to release any more files because, trust me, that stuff going to get out whether she put it out or not.
Yeah, but it may get out posthumously or something like that for Trump. I mean, his administration, you're never going to get to the bottom of that stuff. I think that's pretty obvious.
Tim, I'm going to say what I said in the beginning of my statement. You're not a man of faith. Trust and believe that everything they're going to need to come out, it will come out. Whether people believe it or not. The Lord always exposes people, whether people believe what is exposed or not.
I'm not a man of faith. I'll leave it at that because I don't know if because I don't. Look, I grew up a man of faith with the phrase "He don't come when you want him, but he comes on time." I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't believe in that. I don't believe he may not come when you want him, but he always on time. Cause where he went, he been there all along. So why he got to come?
I believe
you supposed to have him with y'all the time he in you. So how he gonna come if he already in you? See, a lot of
what are we talking about now? What are we talking about?
Tim, don't do that when I'm talking about the Lord. Please
the Lord.
Don't you disrespect the Lord like that, Tim.
I'm not disrespecting him, but that sounded kind of good for a minute.
Not under my watch. No, sir.
I'm not. It just
not even finna go there.
Listen, I can get triggered like it if you trigger me for a minute.
You heard what I said. I ain't going there with you.
Can we go there for a little bit? Just a little bit?
No, sir, we cannot.
That was a good conversation.
Now, let me say no, sir, we're going to change the subject.
Right.
Let me say this, Tim. Two things happened. I went to go get my grandbaby a box of Fruit Loops because she loved Fruit Loops, so we try to buy the family size because, you know, she eat a lot of cereal. That box used to be $5 and something. Tim, when I looked at the price in the grocery store, it was $8.50 for a box of Fruit Loops. I used to be on this program. Yes, I used to be on this program, Tim, where I got my glasses free and my eye exam free because of my income. When Trump got in office, they killed the program. I had to go to America's Best to get me some glasses. I ended up paying $179. That might not seem like a lot to some people, but when you going from free to $179 on a fixed income, that's a whole lot of money. That's why I don't want to hear none of them lies and hear them get up and clap. And when he talk about how great the economy is, because the economy is not great.
No shit, he ain't just saying the economy is great. He's gonna say it's the best it's ever been.
It might be for him because his pocket's getting fatter. He got to keep changing wallets. He got to keep deepening his pocket to put in all that he getting. But tell the American people ain't getting nothing. How you gonna send a miracle ship to Greenland and then didn't want to give us no subsidies for our insurance?
I think
when is it time for the American people to be taken care of? That Trump RX thing he got. Baby, it ain't nothing but good RX with Trump in the front of it.
I don't think he in there. I think
that you can get on good RX.
I think his purpose and his goal is not in. He's not in there for the average American.
Hold on, Tim. I don't have to buy cheaper cereal. I said that's what my grandbaby like, and I'm gonna buy it no matter what it costs. Why would I have to buy cheaper cereal if the economy is so great?
It's a good point. It's a good point. Well, I mean, look, he says it's the best it's ever been, but listen, that's in Trump's language to say anything he's doing or has done is the best it's ever been done. So, I mean, it's gotten to the point where I think even MAGA knows that he exaggerates and speaks in that sort of language. So, MAGA knows how to listen to him, kind of like a Trump whisperer. They know what to take literally and what not to, but the average person... Oh, really?
No, they don't, Tim. They believe everything he says. I don't care what he said. I've witnessed it, Tim. Every time he say something and you can prove that he wrong, they spin like a tornado and make it seem like what he said was right. They believe they hang on his every word.
And I see Dimcal says both of our hospital ships are in the dry dock. You think MAGA believes that Trump's economy is the best in U.S. history? You think MAGA actually believes that?
Yeah, you just heard MAGA React say that the inflation at 2.4 and how you come on now, Tim, they believe that. Tim, I told you these the same folks that keep taking that same $20 to Walmart, knowing they need 40 and get an attitude when it's over $20. Because Trump told them everything going down.
I gotta talk to some more MAGA. I don't think MAGA believes the economy is the best it's ever been. I don't think they believe that.
Child, please. They busting the baby piggy bank open and everything, trying to get some money for some bread and some eggs. It's still talking about this economy is great.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think MAGA favors some of the things Trump is doing. To me, by far, the biggest accomplishment of Trump that is, in the eyes of MAGA, something he's doing, I think that is better than any... It's making liberals cry. I think that by far is what they because I don't think the economy and all these other things are happening either.
Tim, I'm not trying to be funny, but have you seen any videos of some liberals crying? Hold on. Have you seen Trump supporters crying because stuff going wrong? This is not what I voted for. President Trump, we trusted you. You said these right. Come on now, you gotta fix it, President Trump. So who crying? We knew he wasn't gonna do what he said. Who crying?
I'm just saying, I think that is by far what is pleasing MAGA the most. Is him like the picture of him with Obama as monkeys and shit. That they love that stuff. That stuff is what's making him cheer him on.
Listen to Tim. Why they laughing? They still can't afford their stuff. Why they laughing, talking about liberal tears? They still paying more at the store. They still paying higher bills. Getting a good laugh is not helping the quality of their life.
Damn, well, I'm listening to you, Melissa K. Wow, get off the phone, black witch. What did she say to make you say that? God damn. She's saying you're whining and you're crying, but to get off the phone, black witch, I don't know where that came from. Another person with their hand out, the economy has been...
Hey, Tim.
Yes.
Let me address Melissa.
That's a woman.
Let me address Melissa. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm trying to be a better person, Tim.
You're a woman of faith. You're a woman of faith.
I'm trying to keep my... Melissa, fuck you.
You're a woman of faith.
Melissa, fuck you. With a cross around my neck, fuck you. With a Bible in my hand, motherfuck you. How about that? Tim, I'm going to go before I lose my account. Bye.
Takesha, thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. Tap the screen, folks. Wow, I wasn't expecting. Takesha don't normally go off like that. Takesha, you're always welcome on the program. Melissa, come on over. You can come on over to the program anytime as well. Wow, I was not expecting that, though. I was not expecting that. Looking in the comments, Magariax lives in the basement, crawls out, and talks shit, and then goes back in his cave since Teddy Owens. Anyhow, folks, I do appreciate the 143,000. I got to step away. This has been... Anyway, I will be watching the State of the Union address as it was stated, and I see Monacola says, Tim, you messy. How am I messy? What did I do? I'm just the host. I'm the good guy here. I'm the guy that ends up being a whipping boy of any damn thing. And I see James says, Melissa, you got served. Melissa, she called her a black witch. I don't know where that came from. But listen, some of the callers are passionate in their opinions. I don't know where that came from, but it is what it is. Melissa isn't going to talk, just type. Appreciate you folks. It's your boy Tim the Handsome Liberal. Follow the program if you're watching on Substack, Instagram, or TikTok. Give us a subscription if you're watching on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. Probably, the State of the Union, what time is that going to be? 7? Well, 6 p.m., 5 Central. Is it 5? Is that early? I'm looking at News Nation right now, and it says tomorrow. Oh, I can't. Maybe that's their preemptive coverage or whatever, because 5 o'clock is early for that. What time is the State of... Anyway, so I'll probably end up going live maybe before the State of the Union. Maybe before. Catch you guys tomorrow, 8 Central. Okay, 8 Central. Fair enough. So, yeah, probably before the State of the Union. We'll roll into it. Let you guys certainly state your case on how awesome Trump is going to do in the State of the Union tomorrow. We'll let you guys discuss that. I'll catch you tomorrow. It's your boy, Tim the Handsome Liberal. Got to go. See ya. Thank you for tuning in for my YouTubers. Catch you tomorrow.